We were mentioning this yesterday. If you live in a mobile home or a trailer, unfortunately, that is just not a safe place to be in case you are placed underneath a tornado warning. So you need to have an action plan to get to a safer spot as soon as you can and stay safe out there. Y'all let us know whenever we're live, and we'll kind of address that. But here's just kind of a quick rundown of kind of the safe places to be inside your home, highlighted in green, ideal. So find the lowest, most interior part of your home. A lot of times it's a hallway closet, underneath the hallway staircase. You just don't want to be in a room with any windows. If you have a basement, that's ideal. Never go outside, never go upstairs. We good?
Yep.
Are we live?
Indeed.
All right, here we go. All right, folks, so I'll leave this up for a little bit. Once warnings really start to ramp up, though, I'll probably need my cell phone to get these alerts. But you can follow us live on our website and our YouTube channel. Tim are going to be live tracking these storms for y'all. So are we live on the website?
Yeah,
all right, so welcome in, everyone. We are expecting a busy start to the work week. Tim, you've been looking at radar since early this morning. And not a ton has changed with the forecast.
Yeah, you talked a little bit about it, kind of keeping that tornado threat a little held back a little bit, even though we're not saying it isn't going to happen. But the good news is a lot of these have just been kind of severe thunderstorms. It's been a warned line, kind of going back to last Thursday when we just saw that one line march all the way across Alabama, Georgia, and now into our area with the taglines of still possible tornado embedded. And we saw a few that just are severe thunderstorm warned earlier, just about close to 7 a.m. We had Washington and Johnson County go under a warning. We have active warnings continuing now. So that's the way it's looking right now, is just mainly some strong damaging winds that are continuing to go on through as the main threat. So yes, we are, apologies, I didn't have my mic on, but anyway, could be picking up over Riley here. That's the life.
Probably sounds a little bit clearer.
Yeah, that's my life, okay. But anyway, we're just watching this one line continue to come through. And earlier this morning, we had those little rogue cells start well out ahead of the line that you really had to keep an eye on. I think it was around Augusta. They had a tornado warning for over an hour of one little cluster. So it wasn't exactly all to do with the one line. It was just some of those ones out ahead of it because we're, like you said, so juiced up and unstable for any of those to turn severe. And we've already seen a few of those do so.
It is kind of like if y'all were watching our severe weather coverage just last Thursday, that line was kind of similar to where a lot of the severe thunderstorm warnings that were coming out included the tornado possible tag. So there is going to be the potential for rotation inside this line. I would say it's much more likely we see a lot of wind damage, straight line wind damage from this line, but I think there definitely is that potential for maybe a quick spin up tornado in a spot or two. We have that one tornado warning over Aiken right now. So pretty much exactly what happened last Thursday. To where we had the tornado warnings near Aiken, and then that line pushed further east into the CSRA. We actually ended up with 3 confirmed tornadoes from that Thursday morning event. One in Saluda County, one in Barnwell and Bamberg, and then I believe there was possibly another one.
Was there one back in western Georgia? Or I know the Bamberg one that you mentioned.
They said the Thompson to the Deering to Harlem one was straight line wind, but yeah. In Allendale County.
Allendale.
When we were tracking that one storm over Millet and
I remember.
Martin.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
that ended up being an EF0. The Barnwell Bamberg one was an EF0, and then Saluda County near Rich Springs. So those were the 3 confirmed from last Thursday. But let's do a quick update, kind of what it's looking like on the radar right now.
All right, so we do have mainly severe thunderstorm warning, Columbia, Edgefield, Lincoln, and McCormick County until 9 a.m. That's kind of what we're looking at right now with this line. So mainly a lot of that really heavy thunderstorm activity is starting to pile up just a little bit more. Oops, I might have drawn a little box there, my bad. But anyway, we do have this line, the tornado watch. It's widespread across the entire viewing area until 2 p.m., I believe.
Yep.
We've got more of that active warnings that are
This
continuing.
tornado watch was the first one that was put out for our western county, so that's until 2 a.m. But
there's been an update that came across just within the last 15 minutes. So we'll kind of have to just do a little bit of quick erasing, and we'll show you pretty hefty line. It's really picked up in intensity within the last couple of hours. Talking about the main front in the line, which is still west of Aiken, but out ahead, now we've got a dual.
Got a new tornado warning right there, just on the north side.
Yeah.
So
And that's not that far outside of Washington County. So like we could possibly see, that holds enough together. We could be looking at some tornado-warned storms in there as well.
And I'm looking at this stuff ahead of the main line, Tim. It's started to amplify. It's definitely showing a lot of lightning, some torrential rain. This is non-severe at the moment, but I'm wondering how much of an effect this early precipitation could have on the ability for this really strong line to stay severe if it kind of mixes up our atmosphere a lot. So hopefully this helps, but the thing is, with this stuff popping up right now, I mean, it's hitting the same very ripe atmosphere to turn severe as well. And we actually did have an earlier severe thunderstorm warning over Washington and Johnson County.
Right.
So if you're anywhere that's seeing heavy rain, hearing thunder, just make sure you are being extra careful out there and staying inside ideally. I know this is hitting a time where it's kind of prime time morning commute hours.
Yeah, it is.
So a lot of people are going to be out on the roadways, and there are some active storms out there, and we have that greater potential for severe weather now starting to push into the western CSRA.
Yeah, the good news is there's a lot of local schools that aren't having school today. Like I know Columbia County and some others aren't in school today. They're doing teacher work days. So fortunately, teachers are in there having to bear the brunt of this. So keep it right here if you're watching us. But yes, the amplification here, this could help kind of knock back some of those ingredients and dynamics to produce some tornadic thunderstorms. We hope that's the case. But as of right now, we'll have to wait and see just how much that line, the actual line that's been moving through areas around Macon where we've got the 2 warnings, and even still thunderstorm warnings up by the lake, Wilkes and Tolliver County are going to hold together enough here. So it's widespread again. It's just going to be one of those busy days and busy mornings. So if you don't have to be out in it, don't. Just kind of let this pass, because it's going to be a while before we do see that kind of pass on by. Some of the roads here locally are slick. We're seeing quite a bit of that's the Beach Island cam right there.
Yeah, I'm just kind of scanning some of our tower cams across the area to see what it looks like, because we do have some storms right now popping up across the Augusta metro, all the way from Evans down to Martinez, kind of west side of Augusta, and on the south side too, near Hepzibah, Gracewood, along Highway 25, also Keysville there in kind of northwestern Burt County, Jefferson County. You got some storms rocking and rolling early this morning. Those storms, though, south of I-20 right now are sub-severe. They are producing some heavy rain, some lightning out there, but it is going to continue to be one of those days to where we have that potential for some really active weather, kind of a rare enhanced level threat that we only get maybe a couple times
Not
a year.
very often.
Yeah.
Here's the Beach Island cam. It's taking a little hit right now. It's very dark off there. That's kind of pointed off a little bit more to the west, probably with that line of storms at this point.
I'm sure if we held it here, we'll probably catch a couple lightning strikes out there.
Strip here.
But if you're watching, so we're live right now on our website, also on YouTube. If y'all are watching here on the Facebook Live, remember, I'm keeping this up for right now, but I'm likely going to have to cancel the Facebook Live on my page. So continue following us here on our website and also on YouTube. That's going to be where Tim and I are going to stay live with these storms throughout the morning hours. So continue to be safe out there. We've had a couple of warnings already. And let's see, let's get back to...
Oh, man.
Here's just kind of a wide look at the radar right now. So we do have active severe thunderstorm warnings up towards the lake, also in Wilkes County as well. So Wilkes, Lincoln, McCormick, Northern Columbia, even McCormick and Edgefield County too. But the main line is still kind of back here from Eatonton down towards Macon. And around Macon, they actually do have some active tornado warnings. But all ahead of this, where the tornado watch just got issued, conditions are favorable for tornadoes to develop and very strong thunderstorms as well. So even though these are sub-severe right now, they could ramp up and definitely turn severe over the next 30 minutes to maybe not even that long. Starting to see this line get a little bit healthier right now in Burt County, also Jefferson County. So we're just going to have to watch this line. There will likely be pockets of rotation that could lead to maybe a tornado across the area. But right now we just have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect up towards the lake in Wilkes County. But the main line still kind of out west of us, but that is going to be here. Yeah,
My bad.
Sorry about that. Didn't mean to clothesline you. But this is kind of without the radar on to kind of make the map look so busy, this is kind of where we're looking at. So tornado warnings near Aiken, highlighted in yellow. This is where we have the active severe thunderstorm warnings: McCormick, Lincoln, Wilkes, northern McDuffie, northern Columbia County, even a little small slither there of Edgefield County too. But just kind of really starting to ramp up, guys. So this is just the initial start of this event, and we'll continue pushing east over the next couple of hours. I would say since it is moving in a little bit early, we're just about 8 a.m. So this is kind of the time frame we were talking about yesterday for it to really start ramping up across the area. So, I mean, not a ton of change in the forecast. I mean, all
Really
ingredients are there.
Stayed pretty consistent for sure. Yep, there is going to be some gusty winds. Thankfully, I'm looking at some of the storm reports, most of them back western Georgia. I don't think there's any kind of reports coming in right now.
That's actually a good point, Tim. Yeah, we'll just to kind of show you and verify that these storms have been producing damage in their wake. So look at all these severe wind reports from Atlanta all the way down 85. So this was the line of storms earlier this morning as it moved through Alabama, western Georgia, multiple wind damage reports along this line. So it is producing really strong wind. It's producing damage, and now just kind of starting to reach us here in the CSRA. We'll switch over to velocity. A little spin icon right there. So there is some rotation in some of these. Looks like they just dropped the severe thunderstorm warning up in Wilkes County. Looking at the one closer towards McCormick and Lincolnton. Looks like Lincolnton, you're now starting to kind of see the leading edge of that thunderstorm. I'd imagine the wind is picking up pretty good there. We'll go over to our lake camera and see what we see. The big thing I was noticing, Tim, on the lake camera this morning is just how quickly that low-level cloud cover is moving. So just kind of a sign of how strong those low-level winds are and what's leading to our severe weather threat out there.
Winds don't really, I mean, in Washington, you've got winds gusting up to about 35, so it's really windy, and just a few select areas just wanted to kind of look sustained at 24. So the history of really strong winds definitely starting to get in those areas which were warned storms just a few minutes ago, and that's kind of dropped a little bit more. Just kind of curious to see what the wind values were looking like right there.
Yeah.
I'll go back here and get the radar pulled up just a little bit more. So very, very heavy rainfall intensity. The rate very, very high at this point, and you can really see just the intense rain and thunderstorm activity. It's focused right across a lot of the metro here this morning. So we do have the entire viewing area once again under a tornado watch until 2 p.m. and it stretches. You can see that area that's in that yellow shading. It stretches all the way east of the Midlands, just outside of Charleston, Savannah, down in the low country, 95, I-16, all major interstates underneath some sort of watch or maybe some active warnings at this point, kind of into the northern half of the viewing area. That's where we've got some of those active severe thunderstorm warnings right now. Not tagged as a tornado possible, except for outside of maybe Greenwood County into South Carolina. That's where we've got most of them.
Tim, switch over to the GR2 one right there.
Okay.
I'll just kind of give y'all a more high-resolution view of what we're seeing. Let's see if I can get this box oriented right. All right, so this is our high-resolution radar we were using a lot during the severe weather threat on Thursday. I wanted you to look at the bottom left part of your screen. I'll see if we have the wall pulled up, I would imagine so. Let's see. Here we go. All right, so this is the severe thunderstorm warning up towards Lincoln and McCormick County. Notice those really bright greens right there. So right there between Lincolnton and McCormick, right over the northern fringes of Clarks Hill Lake, we got most likely some really strong wind. I would imagine this is mixing down to the surface and producing some pretty strong gusts. So anywhere, it looks to be kind of around maybe the Savannah Lakes area, Hamilton Branch, State Park. There's Plum Branch and Parksville right there. So this is moving east pretty quickly, and right now over the lake, likely producing some really strong wind. We don't necessarily see a huge normalized rotation signature, so that is good, but it is still producing some really strong straight line winds. So that is the concern and what we are going to be worried about with any of these storms, not just the tornado threat, but also powerful winds. And the thing is, with the outlook they've actually issued this morning, they're talking about the potential for maybe gusts not just 60 miles an hour, but potentially up to 75. So really juiced up atmosphere that can lead to some really powerful wind gusts across the area with any severe thunderstorm warnings that do go out. So heads up, just want to give you that quick high resolution view of our radar and that velocity signature that we're keeping an eye on.
I was just going to, Nick is setting that up just a little bit better for us here. I think one lady was asking, what are the winds in Augusta? I think right now they're just sustained maybe at about 8. They weren't very high at this point. And you mentioned maybe being in a trailer. You probably want to go and get in a safer location than that, just because of the threat being as great as it is for strong damaging winds. But we're not currently bearing the brunt of a lot of strong damaging winds at this point. That'll probably work right there.
That was good. Yeah, my battery is dying on my cell phone. So if you are watching on our Facebook live feed right now, just make sure that you're following our live stream that's currently going on YouTube and also our website.
I've got a cord.
But we did just get actually a new severe thunderstorm warning that was issued. This looks like it's in effect for Warren County, Hancock County, Tolliver County, and maybe even a little bit of Glasscock County too. So that's the newest warning we just got. And right now it looks like the main threat would be 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. But as we've been emphasizing, any real severe thunderstorm warning that does pop up has that potential to maybe drop a tornado too. But yeah, you can go back to the regular radar view if you want, Tim.
Sure.
I'm just going to go check the National Weather Service chat real quick, see if there's anything new in there.
I'll loop this a bit more. So right now, a lot of these storms are moving off from southwest to northeast here very quickly this morning. It's probably a longer cable on my desk. I unplugged it, but sorry. It's a busy work environment here this morning, so just
Tim, we do have a storm spotter that was in Martinez reporting pea-size hail near Riverwatch Parkway and Clark Point. So even with the storms around the Augusta Metro, they're not technically severe at the moment, but they are producing some small hail, torrential rain, and also some lightning too. So watch out for any storm really popping up today. They have that potential to turn severe.
Well, at this point, Highway 25's definitely bearing a brunt just along a lot of Richmond County, kind of leading down towards Waynesboro. Waynesboro, you don't seem to have a lot over you, but boy, that line is intense from Louisville to Vedette. Looks like right along 24, kind of State Road 24 that goes through Vedette and eventually connects into Louisville at Highway 1. Just a very large line of storms. And yeah, there is some kind of bright white reflectivity coming in, indicating that there's probably hail mixed in with this. And you were talking about a spotter up in the Martinez area. Probably that one cluster, which is just around Evans, was probably responsible for that, close to 104, Washington Road, kind of running through that area as well. But even around Edgefield County, 230, State Road 230, which leads through Edgefield County, just outside of North Augusta, kind of headed up into the Edgefield area. Edgefield County really getting hit pretty hard at this point with some heavy rain. These are not warned storms, but the rainfall rate is ridiculously high here. Most of our severe aspect of the storm system is up there around Wilkes County right now. And just outside, it looks like the part of that viewing area, they still have that tagged as a tornado possible. Get down into the Phoenix and Eatonton area, Milledgeville. That line runs severe all the way down to Warner Robins and east of Macon. And it looks like they may have dropped the tornado warnings.
I got the latest verbiage on that warning they just put out, Tim, for Hancock and Warren County and Tolliver and Wilkes County.
Okay.
They are including the tornado possible tag. This would impact locations like Washington, Warrenton, Sparta, Crawfordville, Union Point, Norwood, Sharon, K-Mac, around Lake Oconee, also Holiday Park, Powelton. It is moving east at 45 miles an hour, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts look likely with that thunderstorm, but they say remain alert for possible tornadoes. For a possible tornado, tornadoes can develop quickly from severe thunderstorms. If you spot a tornado, go at once into the basement or small central room in a sturdy structure. But they also, the Storm Prediction Center actually just put out that newest mesoscale discussion, which led to our latest tornado watch we've been talking about. And this is kind of their summary for it. The risk of damaging winds and a few tornadoes will continue spreading eastward across South Carolina, Georgia, and the Florida Panhandle. Broken line of thunderstorms is tracking eastward with additional development ahead of the line. The downstream environment remains favorable for severe thunderstorms with the risk of damaging wind gusts and tornadoes. So really just kind of emphasizing all the threats we've been talking about, Tim, and it's going to have to keep a very close eye on anything popping up.
Okay, and just to kind of go in and talk about where those storms are headed that you pointed out and some of the locations included here. Union Point, 829, which we have a current time of 825. Sharon at 844, Washington and K-Mac at 852 and 853. Just kind of have a little bit of a track on where those are headed at this point. But quickly moving that way, and it looks like starting to see a little bit of a Boeing effect, maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
Just east of Eatonton, down a little bit closer in there, south of 270, or maybe right along 278, south of 278, that is, in the Siloam area and Union Point. So that's going to be going in your direction here within the next 5 minutes, for sure. So that line of storms is warned at this point as a possible tornado tag as well. So we'll take that off a little bit more.
And these storms are moving pretty quickly. Once again, kind of like that severe threat we just had this past Thursday. These are moving at about 45 miles an hour towards the east. And the question was raised in the National Weather Service how much this initial activity kind of ahead of the main line will be able to kind of maybe rob the instability or energy from the rest of this environment that's moving into the western CSRA. And possibly, but I don't think it's going to completely eliminate it. I mean, we got some pretty strong lift ahead of this cold front that it's going to be able to kind of ramp up this line that is now starting to reach the western CSRA. So even though we do have this early activity initially, there still will be that severe threat that gets closer towards the Augusta metro, most likely within the next hour or so. I mean, with it moving that quick. So even though we've already seen some rain, some storms here around Augusta, the main line has not reached us yet and will likely continue to be tracking these storms closer towards us within the next hour or so. And I'm actually gonna, let's see if we can clear up that view a little bit, see if we have any extra radar sites.
There's probably a numerous turned on.
Actually doesn't look too
Is it
bad.
correct now?
Yep, we're good
Yeah.
now.
Sorry, we understand it was a mirror image in reverse.
Yeah, that made it definitely a little bit tougher.
That was for us to be able to maybe see some of your questions and be able to answer you now that Nick Proto's manning the camera. So thank you, Nick.
You're welcome.
So here's the map without the radar kind of covering everything up. So highlighting the yellow, these are severe thunderstorm warnings. That does include McCormick, Lincoln, Wilkes, McDuffie, Columbia, Warren, Tolliver, Hancock County. This newest one that just went out until 9 a.m., that is a severe thunderstorm warning, but that does have the tornado possible tag. So really need to treat any warning that comes out this morning, even if it's a severe thunderstorm warning, treat it with urgency and make sure you're continuing to watch us and track these storms because they have the potential really to produce a tornado at any moment. We'll go back out to some of our tower cams, kind of give you a view around. Let's see. So there's the high resolution radar view. Luckily, I'm not seeing necessarily a ton of concerning areas of rotation at the moment. We'll continue to watch that closely, but that looks okay for the time being. But here's a look up at the lake. You can see wind's not necessarily terribly strong right there, starting to shake up the camera a little bit, but we'll kind of pan this around a little bit. So it's really kind of north of this camera. Further down the lake is where we are seeing the strongest part of that storm heading towards McCormick. And that is where we had that really good velocity signature just a little bit ago. But we'll kind of bounce around some more cameras here. This is live look at SRP Park. You can definitely see the flags there near the Tax Slayer Terrace kind of blowing around a good bit. We got trees blowing around. So non-severe thunderstorms right now here around Augusta, but still producing some pretty strong wind and definitely some torrential rain and a lot of lightning too. But luckily these are quote unquote behaving at the moment and not necessarily up to severe levels. There's one good
there was some good
lightning strike from our Beach Island camera, and looks like those storms are kind of all around the tower site, so not really able to see the shelf ahead of it, and just kind of looking at rain and maybe some lightning flashes here or there. Go back out to Wheeler Road. I'm going to turn this towards the west a little bit. Like traffic moving okay on I-20 right there. And then this should be our downtown Augusta cam. Let's see what this looks like.
Sometimes that one takes a little bit.
A dark start to the morning.
It is.
But
Yes, we're on both.
and then
We're on both.
And then here's kind of a look outside of our studios, and yeah, just kind of some wet roadways. Looks like we just got a new severe thunderstorm warning issued.
Washington County until 9.
All right.
Riley, I know you're live right now. Do you have 5 minutes to step away to try to log into your Facebook on a computer to see if we can get to the main page that way?
Dude, I don't know my Facebook password. That's the thing.
Okay.
It would take like resetting the password and all that. I can try though. You good, Tim?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
He's going
I'll
to take
try.
care of some logistical
But
stuff.
I'm sure I'll probably need my cell phone
That's fine.
to
Go
get
ahead.
alerts.
We'll need to
Or
break away
like-
from this feed. We're still on live on our other feed, but
Yeah.
he'll come back with that in a moment.
Yeah, we're on YouTube and our website, so y'all be sure to follow us that way. But man, we got 500 people watching. That's tough to leave.
540.
Oh, yeah, okay,
But-
let's not do it then.
I'll go try a password and see if it works, and then if not,
Okay, yeah, let's give it a try. I don't want to.
Just cut yourself off in case you start giving away
Nick, do you have your phone on you?
useful information.
I'll call you, and if it, like, son tries to give him a, did you just sign in?
All right, so let's go through it a little bit more here. We have a wide view of the entire viewing area and even around the two-state, Georgia, South Carolina. All of our counties in the CSRA included in a tornado watch until 2 p.m. Increasing in intensity here, but not a warned line of storms as we get a little bit closer in what's going on. Highway 25, definitely don't want to be on that at this point. You want to wait for that line to get through here. It's pretty hefty from Hepzibah and just north of Waynesboro on 25. You come up a little bit around the metro. It's raining pretty good. We've got rainfall rates fairly high across parts of Columbia County into the downtown area up through Edgefield County. We've got a line that's pretty intense there just to the west of Highway 25. We're really just kind of following you right through Edgefield Road. 121 runs all the way up into Johnston. I know you're familiar with that, but that's a pretty hefty line, which is non-severe at this point. We go back up where we do have some of the severe warned storms, that is including Lincoln and McCormick County up into Greenwood County, and everything underneath that has got kind of this red shade. I'll kind of turn that off, and as far as the radar is concerned, I'll put it back on. But anything that's shaded in the red is a possible tornado tag from the Weather Service. They're tagging that as there is possibly a tornado that could come out of that. Areas in pink, significant wind here for just a severe thunderstorm warning. And then outside also, it stretches all the way up from Greenwood County into the upstate of South Carolina. Lawrence County up into Greenville, Spartanburg. That's just how long and lengthy this line of storms is. So we still have severe storm warnings in parts of the Wilkes, Tolliver, western Warren County, Hancock County, and even down towards western Washington County there west of Sandersville. So yet to move that line, which has been pretty intense around the Macon, Georgia area. with over the last couple of hours. So we'll put the radar back on there, kind of put it in loop fashion, just show you how these are moving, kind of southwest to northeast. So not necessarily just moving due east very quickly, but it's going to take some time here. So we really have kind of a concern that the rainfall rates are going, maybe some localized flash flooding. We haven't had any of those warnings come out yet. Just mainly a lot of intensity. The more lightning that we see, the more intense that thunderstorm is. So over the last hour, we really started noticing a little bit more intensity with the environment that these storms are in. But we talked about it, and Riley talked about it as well, that the storms that have already come through may cool down the atmosphere and kind of drop the dynamics a little bit more, maybe to help drop the tornadic threat a little bit here. So we've had really one line before the main line that's been moving in just around Atlanta early this morning. But that doesn't mean it isn't severe, because we still have a pretty good tag line, which is down across Perry, Georgia. That's where that severe thunderstorm warning line starts. Then you go across I-16, coming up through the Eatonton area, Norris, and some of our western counties, and I-20 is affected as well. So a very long line of severe warned storms that we're sitting in right now. And then moving all the way ahead of that, it isn't severe in Augusta or areas around Highway 25, northern Burke, and southern Richmond County. Really here between here and Hepzibah, it's probably raining significantly hard, and you're probably hearing a lot of thunder and seeing a lot of lightning. Also embedded in some of those in that line, a little bit of some pea-sized hail. That's possible too. You can see some of those bright white reflectivity coming in here. That's where we've got maybe a little hail falling as well. So this has kind of been just our story so far this morning, just watching that line move very quickly, but east to northeast direction, but also that line back behind it as well. So getting down outside of maybe Milledgeville and Gordon, Georgia on 441, there's a pretty decent line of storms that's moving in that general direction, and that is considered a warned location. But into Sparta and Devereaux, we're finding some heavy rainfall as well. We'll follow this all the way up Crawfordville, raining heavily on you, and into Washington. So really a lot of the Washington area in Wilkes County has been continuing to see some pretty significant rainfall over the last few hours. So we're sitting right now at about 8:35, and we've got this line of warned storms that's still continuing until 9 a.m. So still a little less than a half hour, and it is in that tornado possible tag signature.
They just updated that warning, kind of trimmed it to the west, but yeah, still including, as you were just talking about, Tim, Hancock, Warren County, Tolliver, even Wilkes, and they're still saying tornado possible inside that. So if you live anywhere from Sparta through Crawfordville, southern Wilkes County, be mindful that a tornado could definitely be possible. We'll switch over to our high resolution radar, see if we see any areas of concern. It does look like there is a little bit better, a little bit more of a rotation signature there in just kind of west of Sparta in western Hancock County. So not super tight, but it is enough, and it is starting to show a little bit better signature of maybe rotating a little bit more. So next couple of scans that start to come through, we may be able to see if it starts to tighten up a little bit, hopefully weekends. But yeah, right there, just kind of on the west side of Sparta, and it is kind of lining up with that NROT signature too. So this is kind of our quad box view right now. I'll kind of explain this at the wall, but right here, bottom left corner, that's our velocity. So that's looking at wind going towards and away from the radar site. So right here where we have some green next to red, that's a sign of some rotation, and it is lining up with this top right box. This is what we call NROT, normalized rotation, and this is usually a good parameter to use to see if a tornado is about to develop. Not the strongest signature I've ever seen for a tornado, but if the next couple scans come through and show that starting to strengthen a little bit, and that could definitely be a little bit more concerning out there. But yeah, if you're watching us on Facebook, maybe you can see us right there. There you go, right there. Thanks, Nick. So this is the storm we're currently watching in Hancock County. This is moving east pretty quickly, 40, 45 miles an hour. So if you're in Sparta, get ready. The storm is approaching you quickly, and we just got a new scan that just came through. It looks like that little bit of rotation we are monitoring maybe weaken just a tad. So we like to see that trend. Haven't really seen NROC go up all too much either. So this is just a part of that line. So all up and down that line will have the capability of producing some really strong wind gusts, but there also could be that potential. Maybe there is a brief spin up tornado or potentially even a strong tornado out there over the next couple of hours. And this is the main event. This is the leading edge of that cold front to where the strongest storms are. I know we've already seen some storms here around the Augusta metro so far this morning, but this is the main event that hasn't yet reached the Savannah River corridor, and that's going to be where we really need to keep an eye on the threat for severe weather pushing later into this evening. So just want to give a quick little overview of what these boxes mean and what we're looking at.
Well, thank you, Riley. Let's go back here. We'll show you what's going on watch and warning wise here. Obviously, you took us through a lot of that. We'll kind of widen the zoom out just a little bit.
And Tim, maybe we could just explain what the different colors mean on the map.
Yes, all the yellow is a tornado watch box here, and that's for every county in the viewing area. So yes, we have some overlaid with that orange, that darker orange. Those are severe thunderstorm warnings. You can see it's kind of zigzagged from the upstate all the way down through our western counties and then east of Macon. Those are areas that are under a severe thunderstorm warning. And then you have some pink shades. Those are the severe thunderstorm watch box for our northern counties that goes until 11 a.m. So everybody in the CSRA, even up through the Midlands of South Carolina and upstate, are under a tornado watch until 2 p.m.
And it looks like this is outside of the CSRA, but there is one tornado warning in the upstate. It looks like kind of near Greenville, Spartanburg.
Yeah, just east of probably 385 in Greenville.
So we'll kind of widen this out real quick. So yeah, I'm approaching
way up there.
Yeah, near Gaffney.
Yeah, so going into Shelby, North Carolina.
Yeah, even
in there,
kind of southern North Carolina. So all up and down this line. This line stretches well past the CSRA, north and south. So there's going to be a really widespread severe weather threat across a lot of the southeast, even into the mid-Atlantic.
Yeah.
I mean, places like Raleigh, North Carolina, Washington, D.C., they have an even higher threat for tornadoes than us because this line will be reaching them later into the afternoon when ingredients will likely peak for this event. So for us here locally, since this is moving through relatively early into the day, we still have plenty of energy to produce severe weather here locally, but we'll just expect those ingredients to kind of amplify later into the afternoon. So for many of our eastern counties like Barnwell, Bamberg, Allendale, Screven, even eastern Burke County, since y'all be kind of the last places to see these storms arrive later into the day, well, that means you're going to have most likely stronger ingredients to work with for that severe weather potential. So this is the map Tim's pulling up right now, kind of our severe weather outlook the rest of today. A rare enhanced risk for us here in the CSRA that's highlighted in that brown color. So that's a level 3 out of 5. We only get maybe 1 or 2 of these outlooks issued for our region throughout the year. This is definitely not our normal marginal to slight risk of severe storms, but highlighted in red, that's a moderate threat. That's level 4 out of 5. That does include the PD of South Carolina, all the way through the Triad and up through Raleigh, North Carolina, all the way into Virginia, and even other portions of the mid-Atlantic. We were just talking about like Washington, D.C., underneath a rare tornado threat. And the thing is, with the tornado potential today, you can see these lines going through the outlook. Well, that means that there's the potential for not just tornadoes, but potentially strong tornadoes. We're talking EF2 plus. So this is what made this event kind of extra concerning and why we did issue that first alert weather day. And even though highlighted in yellow, that's a 10% chance. Now, people hear 10% and they think that's really low.
Yeah.
And I would say it's relatively low chance that your particular location does get hit by a tornado. But what that 10% chance is really saying is there's about a 10% chance of a tornado occurring within a 25-mile radius of your location. So, I mean, that's pretty high.
The spread is wide. I mean, usually you'll get just kind of small select areas that may be you might get just maybe that or something. But this is like all the way across the board. This goes all the way up. Don't mind the 5%. But this stretches all the way up, like you said, close to the nation's capital with that moderate risk and where we could have strong EF2 or greater tornadoes. So that's what the importance of that map is showing us.
Yep. And I think there's do this tornado terminology one just under the live ICAM.
Oh, okay.
This is just kind of a good explainer for the terms we'll likely continue to be talking about for the rest of today. So remember, all the CSRA is underneath a tornado watch. That means be prepared. Make sure you have a way to receive alerts, and it's letting us know that conditions are favorable for tornadoes to form. Now, once we're placed underneath a tornado warning, that's when you need to take action. That's when you need to get to that lowest, most interior part of your home. When a tornado warning goes out, that means we either have a signature on radar that's indicative of a tornado being possible, or maybe a storm spotter spots a tornado, or we have a debris signature on radar that can be confirmation that a tornado is occurring. In rare instances, we can have a tornado emergency. That is when there is a tornado on the ground and it's heading towards a fairly populated area that poses a severe threat to human life, and catastrophic damage is likely. So these are kind of the terms that will likely be showing on maps throughout the rest of today. So everyone is underneath a watch, and you should be mindful of what's occurring weather-wise over the next several hours. And let's go ahead and run through the HER, Tim, and we can kind of highlight kind of what's expected with this line over the next couple of hours. So this particular model not doing a great job of showing this initial activity ahead of the line, but it will continue pushing east, and I would imagine this is a little bit slow, Tim. I think we'll likely have this reach us here before 10:30 here around the Augusta area. But just a model view, folks, this is just kind of giving us an idea of what's expected to happen over the next several hours. So it'll be the leading edge of this line. We'll have the threat for really strong to severe thunderstorms, bringing that risk for damaging winds and even some tornadoes. Okay, that one looks a little bit better. Is that the graph?
Yeah, this is a little in-house. It's probably following the line a little bit closer to the actual time right now.
And that's the thing. I think by the time we get to maybe say around noon, a lot of this is now starting to push east of the CSRA. And notice how our temperatures drop behind all this storm activity. So there's going to be a really strong cold front. So we'll go from this severe weather threat this morning to temperatures likely dropping into the 50s and maybe even 40s later this afternoon. And then tonight we have freeze warnings in effect. So we are expecting freezing temperatures by early Tuesday morning. And I think the wind chill could actually get well down into the 20s early Tuesday. So this is going to be a shock to our system. We got close to freezing temperatures this past Friday behind that severe weather system that hit Thursday, but we're expecting even colder air with this event. So hopefully we haven't planned anything just yet, because freezing temperatures not only look likely Tuesday morning, but most likely again Wednesday morning.
Yeah,
too.
They've hit my citrus trees, dadgummit. That's for sure.
Man.
Yeah, bummer. But here's kind of a look at 3. So well beyond our severe weather threat for sure. That line should be east. But you talk temps. Temps are dropping even before rush hour down into the 50s, and kind of there's about 5 o'clock you can see where the 40s are starting to come in, the skies are clearing, and tomorrow morning right about
there you go
6 or 7 o'clock we have 20s and 30s here. So
And the thing is, we'll see this severe weather threat on the leading edge. Behind it, we'll definitely see some lingering rain, but the rain we'll see later this afternoon past the severe line will just be rain, but there will be some gusty winds with this. I mean, we're expecting some gusts, maybe 35, 40 miles an hour behind these storms
for sure
throughout the afternoon. So that's definitely enough to blow around loose objects around your home. So hopefully you have everything secured out there, and could definitely influence high-profile vehicles. So I think that's the biggest concern that school systems have whenever we have these type of events, is that school buses just can't be out on the roadways if winds are expected to be over 35 miles an hour. It's just not safe, since it's a much higher profile vehicle, and it can lead to issues with them safely navigating our roadways. So if you absolutely have to be out and about for the rest of today, be mindful of those high-profile vehicles, thinking of our truck drivers, delivery truck drivers. Give them some extra room on the road, because these gusty winds we're expecting throughout the day, definitely enough to push them around a little bit.
A couple of new warnings here. It looks like they've gone into Aiken County at this point. So we're going to take you there here. I'll turn off the reflectivity here for just a second. So it does look like some of that, mainly for central and northern Edgefield and all of Saluda County under a severe thunderstorm warned line of storms.
Yep.
It does not have the tornado possible tag, although some areas under the warned storm outside of Lincoln or outside of McCormick, Edgefield, and west of Saluda County still under that tagged tornado possible. But the newest severe thunderstorm warning, including areas like Edgefield, Pleasant Lane, kind of overlapping with what's been in part of McCormick County. The Ward area, Batesburg, Leesville, kind of leading up just northwest of I-20, Lexington County and Saluda County here. So that's kind of where that line sits at this point. I'll turn the radar back on, put it in a loop fashion here. So definitely you can see that there's still some intensity here with this line. And even back west under that warned section, this also looks like it's just about in between or southwest of Plum Branch. So 221 more than likely going to have a pretty good line of storms coming across Plum Branch probably within the next 15 minutes or so. Riding from 221, Liberty Hill, we'll probably see some impact. If not right now, it's raining heavily up there just west of 378 in the Liberty Hill area. Maximum to double branches. That seems to have come up on the radar, and you've got some really heavy rain and maybe even a little bit of small pea-size hail. Looks like some of that showing reflectivity with a little bit of some hail possible. But we're getting some heavy rain back into a lot of the metro areas here. Evans, Grovetown. We're looking at you right now on radar, not under anything warned, but northern Columbia County, part of northern Columbia County under a severe thunderstorm warning, just north of Appling, 221, kind of riding up into the Winfield, Rosemont, Lee, Fennessy area, Cobham. That's an area under the warned location here, but really a lot of that line that's just intense is going across Waynesboro now. Waynesboro to the Augusta, southeast of Augusta here. Jackson SRS is probably getting some pretty good rainfall at this point here with some lightning. But every so often you see those little white flashes come across inside that reflectivity, and that could be some hail falling right now.
Yeah, and we even had a report of some pea-sized hail near Martinez with some of these storms earlier this morning off Riverwatch Parkway. Tim, let's go down a little bit further south. We do have that new severe thunderstorm warning in Emmanuel County and also southern Jefferson County. Looking at velocity, there definitely is a good Boeing segment that likely producing some really strong wind. So that one doesn't necessarily have the tornado possible tag in it, but it likely is producing some really strong straight line wind. So you can see that Boeing segment right there. If we want to pause that, you'll just do now right there. So right there heading towards Summertown, just north of Waynesboro. This is about to cross over Highway 1. Wadley, you're including this in southern Jefferson County too. In Swainsboro, you also have some of that strong wind pushing your way. So just make sure you're kind of staying inside, staying away from windows. Some strong gusts will definitely be possible with this storm. And it's moving east at about 40, 45 miles an hour. So those Boeing segments, though, that's where we can definitely see some really strong wind mixed down to the surface. And even in some of those Boeing segments, there can be that potential for some rotation to tighten up as well. I'll kind of go over to our high resolution radar and see if this looks any different here. So it really pops on the high resolution radar right here, but as far as rotation, I don't see a huge rotation signature on NROT, but this area near between Wadley and Swainsboro, right, but heading towards Somerton, I'll kind of query some of this. So this is showing, I mean, wind over 50 knots. So that's getting close to that 60 mile per hour threshold. Sure. That can knock down trees, cause damage. And that is crossing right over Highway 1. So hopefully no cars traveling on Highway 1 that were impacted by that really strong line now starting to push east towards Summertown. Swainsboro, you're kind of on the southern fringe of it, but I think you definitely will see some pretty gusty conditions show up here fairly shortly. And just going to continue pushing further east. So next in line, if we do continue this warning, it would be moving into Jenkins County and also southern Burke County. So places like Midville, you're not too far away from that Boeing segment. And you are expecting the threat for some pretty strong wind heading your way within the next 30, 45 minutes, even possibly shorter than that. And Tim, this is a look at our lake camera. We're now starting to get a little bit better view of this line of storms impacting areas around the lake. And you can see that a little bit of a shelf cloud stretching across the lake. So you can go back to the, yeah, there we go. And so this shelf cloud, usually a good sign. We got some strong wind that's trying to push in. And I'd imagine once this gets closer towards our camera, it definitely will be shaking around a good bit more. But pretty classic shelf cloud look there from our Thurman Dam view.
It's going to have some rain on it too, so if you need to get across the dam, good idea to do it right now. Yeah, that's going to get closer and closer here. Heavy rainfall rates are continuing. Haven't seen any flash flood warnings come out though. I guess it's just moving too fast for a lot of these to really add up to some ponding, but I certainly will get that on some of the roadways. But you can already kind of tell how quickly that's getting a little bit closer to the dam.
Heading straight towards it. So we'll keep an eye on that camera because I think that's definitely going to be one to see kind of how strong that wind is that's mixing down to the surface.
Going on too.
All right.
This is a live look outside of our SRP Park camera. The wind's definitely gone down a good bit from when that initial strong storm was pushing through the Augusta metro area. Beach Island camera just kind of covered up with cloud cover, some raindrops on the lens right there. And there's a live look outside of our studios. So here around Augusta, we're definitely not seeing the worst of the weather just yet, but this line is getting closer and closer towards us. And that's going to be the area of concern moving later into this morning. So within about the next 30, 45 minutes, between 9 and 10 o'clock is when we're expecting this line to be approaching the Augusta metro, and we'll likely start to notice some pretty strong wind with it. And Tim, I would imagine we can start using our Harlem radar here shortly, and that'll kind of give us a pretty good view of what's happening closer towards Augusta. Actually, I'll switch over to that.
Might even be able to right now.
Like
Sorry if this is banging a lot and making noise. Apologies. We're just being asked to put on about 8 mics. So, oh, good.
So we just had a new severe thunderstorm warning issued for Burke County into western Barnwell and southern Aiken County. So you are now underneath the severe thunderstorm warning for those really strong winds heading your direction. That is highlighted pink, so that means they are not including the tornado possible tag, which is good.
That's good.
That is, nonetheless, that will be producing some really strong winds. So I don't want you to ignore this just because it's a severe thunderstorm warning, still capable of producing some really strong wind and damage as well. So just make sure you're continuing to stay in that safe spot and stay away from any tall trees, anything like that. Try not to be outside. Try not to be even close to windows in case there is any wind that starts flinging around some debris. Those windows definitely won't be safe.
I'll read off a few locations. You talked about a few of them. This is the hazard mainly is 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. This is expect damage to trees and power lines, including locations Waynesboro, SRS, Plant Vogel, Hepzibah, New Ellington, Jackson, Sardis. So really kind of in a pretty significant area traveled to get to the plants, both Vogel and SRS. This is where this line is going towards. Burke County Airport, McBean, Go, Girard, Vedette, looks like Dylane Wildlife Management Area as well. So this moving east at 45 miles per hour. So going pretty quick.
Yeah,
so moving quickly.
Pretty much all of Burke County. I think all of Burke County is included in that warning.
They are.
And take a look at this is from our Harlem radar site. This is looking at the velocity signature with the tornado possible severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Warren, Tolliver, and also Hancock County. But those really bright greens, I mean, that is producing some damaging straight line winds, and that is getting closer and closer towards Warrenton. And this Harlem radar site just is able to give us those much lower scans.
Picking right up on it.
This is the benefit of it. I mean, you can definitely see some strong wind mixing down to the surface. So Mayfield, get ready. You got some pretty strong wind heading your direction. Warrenton, you're going to be next in line for that. And then it's just going to continue pushing east.
Yeah, I-20 area of Warren County and 278 kind of coming right across into that corridor and intersection. That's not a good area to be at right now because you can definitely see what you just pointed out, some of those bright, again, reflectivity coming in with some strong straight line winds approaching that area.
And we'll have to see if I would imagine that they do extend that warning further east. It's kind of getting towards the eastern edge. I'm sorry, I'm
Of
adjusting my
McDuffie
mic
County,
right now.
or of Warren County, and then eventually into the McDuffie County area too.
Right. So, and then northern McDuffie County. I mean, up towards the
There's-
airport,
yeah.
also over Bellmead Golf Club, kind of anywhere north of I-20 through McDuffie County. You're still underneath a severe thunderstorm warning, and potentially could definitely see some strong wind gusts move through here shortly.
Yeah, a lot of rural areas with a lot of trees, and then the combination of straight line winds also not good for a lot of those areas. So kind of north of Appling, 221, when you get a little farther up 221, closer to Clarks Hill. That's where that kind of bends around with that severe thunderstorm warning there, and then just kind of cuts off. But part of central northern McDuffie County, Warren County, a lot of it, Crawfordville, that line looks to be a little bit east, but still some of the winds are still around there. 278, 269, State Road 269, and maybe State Road 80 up there, kind of in south, just southeast of Washington, Georgia. Kind of leads right into downtown Washington. That's where we've got a significant amount of wind, and still under that tagged tornado possible in the severe thunderstorm warning.
And this is a look at our active warnings, kind of without the busyness of the radar on it. So, yep.
Just as we're on social still, the only thing going out on YouTube is Max One.
Oh, without any mics?
No, mics are on.
Okay.
Just like in terms of visuals, like I'll go to the wall and they can't see it.
Gotcha. Okay. So we're just kind of switching gears around the studios right now. We have morning mix that's about to start here at 9 a.m. So they're going to have to use our studio cameras for that show. But we're going to obviously continue this live stream of severe weather updates that you can continue to watch on our YouTube channel and also on our website. We are going to try to keep streaming this too. So multiple ways to continue watching us, even if it's not on over the air broadcast. Now, Tim, if we do get a tornado warning, obviously we'll cut in on all avenues to keep people updated that way. But you can see all the severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. So from Emmanuel County all the way through Jenkins, Burke, Barnwell, northern Allendale County, and then west of that, we have them stretching from Washington, Hancock, Warren, Wilkes, Lincoln, even McDuffie, Columbia, Edgefield, and McCormick County, and Saluda County too. So anywhere that's highlighted in those yellow boxes, that is severe thunderstorm warning, producing at least 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and then potentially maybe even seeing the potential for a quick spin-up tornadoes. So just make sure that you are continuing to stay updated with that. Looks like they dropped the warning.
They trimmed
right there.
quite a bit of those western counties from Wilkes to Oliver all the way back to that area we were just kind of a little bit concerned with, getting close to Warren and McDuffie County. That's been dropped.
We will see. So it is changing. It's shifting into different National Weather Service offices. So our western counties are covered by Peachtree City and Atlanta. The rest of the central CSRA is covered by Columbia. So Columbia may be updating
They
their
may
packages
pick back up on
to continue issuing that downstream. There just may be a little bit of gap in time from when we see that. But right now, the active severe thunderstorm warnings. Waynesboro, I would imagine your wind's picking up all along Highway 25. We got a really strong thunderstorm that's now pushing towards Plant Vogel, too. So
Yeah.
Plant Vogel right there on the Savannah River, they are underneath a severe thunderstorm warning, 60-mile-per-hour gusts. But I like how these are staying at least severe thunderstorm warning and not necessarily including the tornado possible tag. That was kind of the big concern today. We were hoping that we didn't necessarily have a huge tornado threat. There you go. There's the newest one that just kind of went downstream. from
So
what
it
we were
looks
just
like
talking
all of the
about.
metro areas under that now, even Augusta.
And that does have the
Aiken.
tornado possible tag right there.
Yeah.
So this is the newest severe thunderstorm warning that just got issued for McDuffie, Columbia, Richmond, Aiken, and southern Edgefield County. This does include the tornado possible tag. So anywhere in those locations from Thompson all the way to North Augusta, Clearwater, Langley, up to about the Aiken, downtown Aiken area, this is a new severe thunderstorm warning that is impacting y'all until 10 a.m. And you can see that threat, tornado possible right there. So this is the concern that we've been talking about. We'll kind of read the text from the National Weather Service. So severe thunderstorm Severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 7 miles north of Wrightsboro to near Oconee, moving east at 50 miles an hour. Hazard right now is 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and expect damage to trees and power lines. This does include Aiken, North Augusta, Grovetown, Evans, Thompson, Fort Gordon, Augusta, Clearwater, Martinez, the Aiken Mall, Belvedere, Edgefield, Hepzibah, Harlem, Jackson, Lincolnton, Glendale, South Augusta, Clarksville Recreation Area, and Edgefield County Airport. Mile markers on I-20 from 167 to 201 in Georgia, and then in South Carolina between mile marker 0 all the way to 25. And all of Bobby Jones included in this severe thunderstorm warning too. And this is the precautionary preparedness actions they're talking about. Remain alert for a possible tornado. These can happen quickly from severe thunderstorms, and they're just encouraging everyone, if you do see a tornado or we get upgraded to a tornado warning, make sure you're getting into that lowest and most interior room in the structure you're in.
Very good information right there. Getting closer and closer to us, definitely from the...
Oh yeah, we can switch
pull-
back over to
pull
our
that
lake
thing up.
camera. So this is a look at that shelf cloud we were just talking about. And Tim, they may actually be coming to us with the mix to see
Give
if
us an
there is
update.
the potential. I'll kind of keep this IFB on low just so I can see if they do toss to me. And guys, if y'all can hear us back in the booth, just
Let us know if
let
they're going
us
to do
know if
that.
the morning mix is going to cut to us for a quick little update. Okay. Did they do anything off the top, Joe? Okay. All right. Cool, cool. All right.
Real quick.
Yeah.
A lot of people asking about sound on the Facebook stream. The long story short, we don't have access to a Facebook on our streaming computer right now, so we're doing this off Riley's phone. So the microphones they're wearing aren't going to the phone. If you want to get better sound, you can go to YouTube, WRDW News 12, and watch us on there. And then we should be on the app either now or at some time soon.
Yeah, I think.
So if you're on Facebook, the sound might be a little bit spotty, but you will be able to hear it at least a little bit.
Yeah. And this is the latest look at the shelf cloud going across Clarksville Lake, getting closer and closer towards our camera view there on the Thurman Dam. And pretty impressive look, definitely looking at some ominous skies. This area is underneath a severe thunderstorm warning. I'll kind of pan this around so you can see that stretching all the way into McCormick County, Lincoln County, and Edgefield County as well. We'll go back out towards the west. And one thing we're watching out, because a lot of times over these bigger lakes, that's a pretty phenomenal view right
That's
there of that
pretty
shelf
incredible.
cloud. But seeing if there's, that's just scud right
Yeah.
there. But I mean, open areas of water, we saw this Thursday over Lake Murray. They actually had a water spout that was confirmed with that line of storms that pushed through. So over these open water surfaces, there's a lot less friction. So it can lead to these water spouts developing a little bit easier. So
How about that fella?
a guy just jogging on the dam right there. Wow. He's a brave soul.
Testing nature, huh? Okay. Well, you may make it.
Yep.
Hope you
Luckily,
do.
he's ahead of it right now, but yeah,
Yeah,
I would
sure.
imagine he's going to put himself in a pretty tough predicament once this line pushes through. So this is a good example of what not to do whenever we are tracking severe weather. Try not to go outside running in it. We really discourage
We're pointing
that.
out the obvious, okay.
Yeah, but
I know some of you
I
are
know
daredevils.
Getting that morning exercise is definitely very important. but-
Sometimes it is. Sometimes it is.
We will scan back up towards the lake, and we'll keep a close eye on this.
There's
Just-
rain on the lens. It's warping the picture and image a little bit. That's not a laser beam or anything streaking across the sky. It's just raindrops.
Yep.
So that's the beach island, Cam.
I'm going to turn this around. Unfortunately, looking towards SRS, we got to look through our tower and not able to see it too much, obviously. But sorry to give you a little motion sickness with that. But
All right.
this is definitely the best view we have of that shelf cloud. Currently moving over Clarksville Lake, that is right now underneath a severe thunderstorm warning.
Yes, it is. Yep, raining heavily. It was just kind of corresponding with some one deputy, and he's out at Columbia County headquarters.
Is he seeing anything?
No, just what we're seeing.
Yeah.
Responsible for doing a lot of the course driving for new recruits.
Oh, wow.
And he said, well, we got to do it. And I'm like, well, have fun with that.
Yeah.
Because this is what's coming.
Oh,
So,
man.
yeah, he hasn't seen any, it just says he got real nasty here. But I was telling him to also be prepared for storm warning and possible tornado as well. So keeping in touch with who I can. Not going to hopefully give out my number, but you know.
Have you noticed any pressing questions or anything?
People just asking about specific areas like
Okay.
Somerville and Harlem, Grove.
Somerville?
Aiken.
Somerville, you are located underneath a severe thunderstorm right now. So the severe storms are still west
You're
of
talking about Low
Augusta.
Country, Somerville.
No.
I believe it's Somerville neighborhood.
Somerville neighborhood.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Look,
think-
I hear Somerville, I'm
yeah.
thinking
It said
Charleston.
Somerville.
So, okay.
But
We do have like 1,000 people without power right now.
really,
800 in Grovetown, 300 in Harlem.
No
here,
kidding.
let's pull up a outage map. We can.
Well, I have not gotten an outage report for my own domicile, but certainly all the county warnings are going crazy on the phone and everything else.
Here you go.
Go back to that sweep.
Do just type in Web 2 right here. Yeah, use that one. So this is the Georgia Power outage map right now. So yeah, as Nick was just saying, right around Grovetown, also Evans, look like
3,000.
South Augusta, Harlem. Harlem has 294 people without power. Here, I'll expand this out so everyone can kind of see it. That pop up on the screen at all? All right, there you go. So Harlem, 294 people without power there. Looks like the Wimberley area between Martinez and Grovetown, less than 5 right there. Less than 5 on the north side of I-20. Grovetown, though, 781 people without power right now from 2 different outages at the moment. And then around Augusta, looks like near the downtown area, a few customers without power. Closer towards Goshen, Plantation, less than 5. And then kind of between Keysville and Hephzibah, a few more customers without power. So looks like around Harlem and Grovetown.
People want to know how to get the weather alerts on the phone and like get the first alert weather app.
All right, so if you don't have our First Alert weather app, it's a great tool to have during these severe weather events. You can download it for free on the Apple and Android store. If you go to the search bar in those app stores, just type in WRDW weather. Should be the first one that pops up. And the real benefit that the weather app provides is that it'll keep an eye on your location. Obviously, you do have to give it permission, but in these instances, do that because if there's any type of weather alert that does get issued for your particular area, you will get an automatic notification. It'll let you know if you're underneath a severe thunderstorm warning, tornado warning, any type of impactful weather alert. Now, if you're placed underneath the tornado warning, that's automatically going to trigger to the emergency alert system to where it will automatically go to every single cell phone in that warning polygon. But for a lot of the severe thunderstorms that we're tracking right now, that does not trigger the emergency alert system. So really the only way to stay up to date on these severe thunderstorm warnings is having an app like ours in order to get that. And then once the alert will pop up on your phone, you click it and it'll tell you all the information you need. It will let you know where it's located, how fast it's moving, what type of threats are present, what area is included in that warning. And then you could switch over to our radar and you actually have access to our Harlem radar on the weather app too. So really beneficial for us here around the Augusta Metro, kind of getting those lowest scans. And that's what we're switching to right now. This is actually our Harlem radar site showing velocity and still showing some pretty powerful winds right over Warrenton. So downtown Warrenton and central Warren County, I'd imagine you're seeing some really strong wind gusts out there. And that's going to continue pushing into McDuffie County next and then Columbia County. And we already have some people without power, as we were just talking about, around Richmond and Columbia County here.
And that's following right on 278 right in Warrenton here in south of Thompson. So probably within the next 20 minutes within the Thompson area, that pretty strong wind complex that's going to be moving through the entire metro area. A lot of Edgefield, Aiken, McDuffie, Columbia, Richmond County under that severe thunderstorm warning with the tagline "Tornado Possible." So that's why we're paying a lot of attention to this complex and using velocity to give us an idea whether or not it's picking up rotation. But it also does give us the helpful clues on strong winds as well with this line, because they're talking about beams coming in, reflectivity going away as well when those come together. So we're just keeping an eye on that for any kind of potential velocity signatures showing rotation. But thankfully we haven't had any rotating thunderstorms. And you've got another good look at that shelf cloud coming over.
If you have any damage reports and it's safe to do so, very easy to submit pictures on our website and also our weather app. There's actually a place on our weather app to where you can submit pictures and videos very easily through that way. I think on our news app there's the same ability to do that too. So through our website or our app, news app or weather app, very easy to submit those pictures. And I would say that's the best way to do it, because just with licensing issues, if you email us a picture, we can't go straight to air with it. But if you do submit it through those platforms like our app or our website, that does clear us legally to be able to share your picture on these live streams or on the news. So if you have pictures to share, we definitely love to see them, because that gives us some ground truth of what we are seeing on radar and can be very helpful with alerting the National Weather Service saying, hey, yes, we are seeing really strong wind in this location, happened at this time, at this crossroads, and just helps them verify what they're seeing on radar. And then even after the fact, they'll know exactly where to go to survey that damage and see if it was straight line wind or potentially even a tornado. But luckily we've been able to dodge, actually I don't want to say that and jinx it, because we still got a good while to go, especially for our eastern counties. They haven't seen a ton of rain just yet, so their atmosphere is going to be very conducive for tornadoes to form over the next couple of hours. But right now we haven't had any tornadoes here locally in the CSRA. But right around Thompson, get ready, already kind of hitting up towards the airport and near Bellmead Golf Club, north of I-20. They got that Boeing segment now showing up there, producing some really heavy rain, some lightning, and the Boeing segment moving out of Warren County likely is producing some pretty strong wind, Tim.
Yeah, it is. I've got for you just that Harlem radar only on, so it's given us a real good perspective of what's coming through that area as well. So we love using that when it's close enough to give us the best scans, as you talked about, lowest level. As we start it's still picking up some pretty good reflectivity out in the Waynesboro area. So this is the line that's a warned storm system from Waynesboro, Highway 25 up to Jackson, SRS, Vogel. So that commute to the plants, both plants, pretty hectic right now. It's probably not a good idea to be out on the roads as well. With that, when we're talking about potential wind gusts at 60 miles per hour. And thankfully, so far, the warned line of storms in our area has not gone to a tornado warning. It's just remained that severe thunderstorm warning tag, shaded in red, but the tornado is possible here. So the signatures are really just kind of, thankfully, not showing a whole lot of rotation embedded. Not to say it couldn't, because that's why they leave it in there just in case. But
I mean, we saw it happen last Thursday.
we did.
To where that tag was put on severe thunderstorm warning, and then saw some rotation tighten up and instantly went to a tornado warning. So it's just that kind of that early heads up to make sure you are paying attention to it.
But these are getting in here right about on time. The actual line of the cold front, which early this morning we were kind of putting up timelines, and you did the same thing yesterday, about 7 to 11, and then about maybe 11 to, or 10 a.m. to 1. So there's the main line. It's still kind of sweeping in some of the west. So it's really kind of following a good path. We just had another line of form ahead of it. These were just early this morning, was maybe some small little rogue cells. Right. And then it really just started opening up. So there's actually two lines coming through here this morning. One all the way up here near Sally, up there for you in parts of northeastern Aiken County, and even parts of Barnwell County. You've got that Warren system as well, which is not tagged a possible tornado here this morning.
I was looking at our high resolution radar here, Tim, and this is where that that shelf cloud was crossing over the lake.
Oh, you can
So you can
kind of see the line.
Yeah, definitely, most definitely. So some really powerful wind now pushing into northern Edgefield County towards Pleasant Lane and getting closer and closer towards downtown Edgefield. I'm sure if you live in Edgefield, you got a pretty impressive looking shelf cloud heading your direction, about to move overhead. And as far as velocity signature, showing signs of really strong wind. On the NROT signature, that top right box that you're looking at, there is some rotation, but it's very elongated. In order for us to be really concerned about a tornado happening, we would need to see those greens and blues kind of in a tight circle with each other. But since it's more linear instead of in a circle shape, that would be less concerning that a tornado is right there. But it is producing some really strong wind nonetheless, and we can see that confirmed here on our velocity signature, and starting to notice that shelf cloud bearing down on downtown Edgefield.
Yeah, we used to have an Edgefield camera. I don't know.
Oh,
if we
there
still,
is.
Do we? Is it a still image though?
downtown. It's a still image, yeah. But there is one in the downtown square. Here, let me. I'll search Max 3.
Not even sure
see
if
if
it's
we
still in
have
there.
one. I'm not sure if it still works or not, but there you go. It's got the old logo on it. And unfortunately, it's pointed down towards the ground. Doesn't really give us a good view of what's happening in the sky. And honestly, don't know if that's current. I'd imagine it is. It is showing some rain. But there's also a lot of leaves on the trees too, which I don't necessarily know if it would be that lush just yet. for
Guys
this
are getting
time
quite a bit
year.
of foliage out there in Edgefield County.
I'm gonna check in on the National Weather Service chat, see if there's
Okay.
anything new.
Well, we'll go back here, do a little quick refresher on what's going on if you're still joining us here on the Facebook, and we appreciate that. And right now we're just looking mainly at all counties, all of the CSRA counties, tornado watch until 2. That's the yellow counties here. And then we've had this area of darker orange just start from west to east. These are active severe thunderstorm warnings. These are the areas from Saluda, Edgefield, Lincoln, McDuffie, Columbia, Richmond, Burke, and so on, down towards Jenkins and Barnwell, and even including Aiken, where that severe thunderstorm warning continues until 10 a.m. But thankfully, a lot of the verbiage that's been in the tags of the severe thunderstorm warning have not gone tornadic. Although it's had a history earlier this morning. We were down looking at Macon, Warner Robins area. Mainly the Macon area had a few that went tornado warned for a short period of time, but as they got closer into the western half of the viewing area, they just kept the severe thunderstorm with a tornado tag possible. So we haven't had any tornado warnings, but for some of those areas that are seeing some very strong winds, like Edgefield County, if there happens to be damage after it has passed and you want to submit some of those pictures, please feel free to do that, but don't put yourself in any danger as we move on through. In fact,
One update, Tim, I was just reading from the National Weather Service is that they are seeing strong velocity signatures on radar, but these winds that are elevated above the surface are having a harder time mixing down to the surface, which is good. But they were mentioning kind of what we were talking about earlier, that a lot of this earlier convection ahead of the main line has helped stabilize our lower atmosphere, which makes it a lot tougher for that wind to mix down to the surface. So we're hoping that trend does continue. But they say the worst part of this line is now reaching McDuffie County, as you were just talking about. You can see that from our Harlem radar site. Still some pretty intense velocity signatures on this, especially just south of Thompson. And you see our little storm icon going right there. So, I mean, there is the potential to where we could still see some bad weather from these. But right now, we haven't necessarily noticed a ton of severe wind being able to mix down to the surface since we have had this earlier convection.
I'm corresponding here once again with some folks that are out there.
This
on
is
the
just going
driver
back
course.
to all the storm reports from this line. So you can see as they marched across Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, even around metro Atlanta, they were producing a lot of wind damage. So all these different icons are showing thunderstorm wind damage. The closest one to us appears to be around Lake Oconee, near Milledgeville. We'll see what this one says. So the emergency manager relayed a report of a tree down on a home near Irwinton Road and Cook Street. So that was at 8:35 a.m. that happened. So that was with that line of storms that is now starting to reach McDuffie County. And then we were just reading that there was a lot of, remember we had those tornado warnings near Aiken earlier this morning. Emergency manager down there is reporting a lot of trees down. So
Okay.
I imagine they send a survey team out that direction later today.
He says that keeps kind of dropping, but
Is it rotating?
that's what I was asking him if it was. He can't tell. But that's
Here, let's check on our lake camera too.
that's coming from around the Columbia County, Appling Harlem Road area, out at the Columbia County Sheriff's Department headquarters.
Okay. But yeah, Tom, I mean, I'm looking at the lake camera. We've had that shelf cloud push through, and I mean, the lake is calm. Not really seeing a ton of wind behind that shelf cloud right now.
That's good.
So, as we were just kind of saying from the National Weather Service, they were talking about we had these storms that are still severe over Burke and Barnwell County, but that is ahead of the main line of activity that is currently moving through McDuffie and Columbia County. So we'll kind of pause this and use our little pointer right here. So all this activity that is severe, that's pushing through places like Millen, Waynesboro, Plant Vogel, Sardis, Girard, SRS right there. This was all forming kind of ahead of the main line that is still back this direction. And with this happening ahead of the main event, well, this has really done a good job of helping stabilize our lower atmosphere and has prevented a lot of this stronger wind from mixing down to the surface. So this was one of the variables of the forecast, kind of how much activity would we see ahead of the main line and what effect would it have. And right now it's providing a very beneficial benefit to it at the moment. But notice our counties like Barnwell, Bamberg, Allendale, Screven, they have not really seen any rain so far this morning. So they are much more unstable in a much better environment for a lot of these storms to turn severe and be able to mix down some of those stronger winds and even produce that tornado threat. But for us here around the Augusta Metro, right now we are underneath a severe thunderstorm warning with that tornado possible tag included in it. But it's been a struggle to really see a lot of this wind mix down to the surface.
I'm looking at it and what he shot, and it doesn't. Yeah, I mean there may be a little bit, but it doesn't look like it's anything like a
Yeah.
wall cloud forming or anything
Right,
like
right.
that.
Worthy of keeping an eye on, but yeah, I agree. I don't necessarily see a ton of. Yeah, play it fast, see if it looks any different.
It just looks like it's just,
Maybe just some scud.
I mean, a little bit moving along here. This is what we're looking at right here. Just, is that in frame?
Just bring it a little closer.
That's all we're looking at, and that's kind of a shelf cloud with a little bit of suspected, scud cloud. Scuds usually low-hanging clouds that aren't rotating, but this was just kind of outside of the Columbia County Sheriff's Department
Yeah, we
headquarters
can
area.
definitely.
Friend of mine out there doing
Yeah, I'll turn
training
it
with
back
a
on,
lot of
yeah.
the.
But make sure
cadets.
Joe has our right cameras or our right mics.
So that's kind of what we've just been talking about and looking at. It does not
'cause we
look like it's
switched over
anything
to
mainly. Oops, is that me?
That may have been my IFB.
No.
I need that.
Nothing that's majorly concerning, but worth keeping an eye on.
You got to go on.
We're about to do a hit on morning mix.
Bradley, can you hear him?
Here, I got you, Joe. Can you hear me? Okay, cool.
Clip. Can you ask if he can see any of the cell phone or anything?
Joe, can you see any of the,
Like the ring light?
you can?
40 seconds to the hit.
What you want up?
Like the ring light?
Can you see any of the cell phone stuff? Can you see any of the cell phone stuff that Nick has? Take him on the wall. Okay.
Okay.
Do you want that left up?
Okay. All right. And then I'll probably just guide you, Tim. So,
Bet you will.
ooh, was that a little thunder boom or our usual earthquake?
No, it's not noon yet.
All right, folks, welcome back in. We are tracking severe storms moving across to the Savannah River area, and we actually do have it in the central Savannah River area, right here across Columbia, McDuffie, Richmond, Burke, also Aiken, Barnwell County, Edgefield County. We have a severe thunderstorm warning that is moving east at about 45 miles an hour. Right now, the main concern is 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, but something the Weather Service has included in a lot of these warnings is that a tornado could be possible. Right now, we have Plant Vogel, SRS underneath this severe thunderstorm warning, and also around Metro Augusta too. So want to make sure everyone is staying safe out there, staying updated on what's happening on the radar. Here's a look at it with it overlaid with these showers and storms. The main front is now starting to reach places like Warren County, McDuffie County, all the way up towards the lake. The leading edge of this front is where we're seeing the strongest storms right now that are currently moving around the Thompson area and about to push into Richmond and Columbia County. But we've also had some earlier convection ahead of the main event that has turned severe across Burke, Jenkins, Barnwell County, and even northern Allendale County. So really anywhere around that Savannah River corridor, we are tracking the potential for at least 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. There may even be the potential, once again, for a tornado to occur over the next couple of hours. We are underneath a tornado watch. That's what's underlaid all this, highlighted in yellow. The tornado watch will be in effect until 2 p.m., but I would imagine our severe weather threat does go down before then. So we're likely going to be tracking this severe weather threat up until, say, about maybe 12, 1 p.m., and then it should be moving east out of the area. And then behind it, we're just going to see some really cold temperatures and pretty windy conditions later on this afternoon. Tim, if you want to switch over to one of our live eye cameras, we'll kind of bounce around, see what it's looking like here across the Augusta Metro. So in the Weather Center with me, we have First Alert Meteorologist Tim Strong, First Alert Meteorologist Malik Bryant also here as well. And we are continuing to stream our severe weather coverage on our app and also on YouTube. So if you want to keep watching these severe weather updates, very easy to do so on our YouTube channel or streaming us through our website. And here's a look outside of our studios, just some really wet road conditions out there. And we could be seeing that wind show up here around the Augusta area within the next 15-20 minutes. Here's a live look over Clarks Hill Lake. We had a really good look at a shelf cloud that was moving over the lake just a little bit ago. But one update we've had from the Weather Service is that it's been tough for a lot of this severe wind to actually mix down to the surface since we had a lot of early rainfall kind of preceding the main event that is now showing up. So that is the good news to report. We haven't necessarily had a lot of confirmation of severe wind across the area just yet, but the threat is not over, folks. So make sure you are staying updated on the forecast, and very easy to continue watching these updates on YouTube and our website. Thank you.
All right, back we go here.
How was it driving in, Malik?
Not too bad right now.
Yeah.
But, definitely in a little lull before, that
The main line shows up.
steady, some steady rain.
I'm going to switch to the Harlem.
It's okay, just wet.
Yeah.
Go back to Harlem velocity.
Kind of scanned our Georgia power outage map again. We do have about 50 customers without power down in Midville in southern Burke County, and then just north of Louisville off Highway 1, a few customers out. But still looks like the majority of outages are around Grovetown. Still about 780 customers without power there in southern Columbia County. And we got the next wave pushing in towards Grovetown that could bring additional strong wind with it.
Yeah, and that's what's kind of getting down on that a little bit more. So that's that line that's got some really strong winds, Appling 221, and eventually within Grovetown here shortly. That's not the
Yeah.
velocity.
So just passed over Wildwood Park, you got Pollard's Corner right there. And this is getting closer and closer towards Evans. So there's Washington Road right there. And I mean, yeah, Washington Road probably getting lit up with some torrential rain. I mean, that's guaranteed that these rain rates are well over an inch per hour and can lead to a lot of ponding on roadways and make pretty treacherous hazard travel conditions out there.
This thing does not want to.
Now it's getting pretty much right towards the Harlem radar site, which it may be kind of tougher to see exactly what's happening once that happens, but anything new on Slack,
Oh, yeah.
feel free to chime in.
Just getting another video of it raining very heavily out there at the Sheriff's Department
Yeah.
in Columbia County, off of Columbia Road at the headquarters. Any other questions at all? Just kind of watching?
Just a lot of people watching.
Just hang in there. Hang in there right now. The best news is we're not getting anything rotating, so nothing tornadic, even though there's still the tag for a possible tornado. But right now it is raining hard from Clarks Hill to Appling, crossing right over or just through Harlem, Stapleton, down in Jefferson County, and Rennes here in any moment. And it's been raining hard on Jefferson County for the last hour or two, just because we've had one line already move through your area, and now we'll kind of widen it out a little bit more and show you that this is going to be moving off toward the east and northeast. So Rennes, Louisville, kind of 221 that leads into the Harlem area. Thompson, looks like you are kind of clear of the real heavy rain. Come on, follow my finger. But I-20 from McDuffie County, Columbia County, even up towards kind of the southern edge of the lake, right there at portions of the dam, it is raining hard.
Somebody wants to know if you can see the Harlem velocity scans on the app.
Can you see the Harlem velocity
Sorry,
scans?
Can you see the velocity scans from the Harlem radar in the weather app?
Can you see the velocity scans on the Harlem radar on our app, Riley?
You can see Harlem reflectivity, but not velocity.
Just reflectivity. So basically this, reflectivity. You can't get the velocity scope. Guess you're not special enough, even though you are, and I'm kidding when I say that.
Jeez, damn.
Hey, I'm just trying to keep it light.
Somebody is asking about Hepzibah.
Hepzibah?
Yeah.
Yes, it is raining hard in Hepzibah. But nothing tornadic, but you still are included, Hepzibah, in the severe thunderstorm warning. In fact, all of the metro counties here until 10 a.m., it's 9:36. So just kind of backing out a little bit more. A lot of lightning, so you may be a little bit curious to want to get some video, but just be real careful. There's a lot of lightning with this last line coming through. And I'll even shift over. There's already a line reaching Columbia, South Carolina, Gaston in Lexington County, north and Norway, and then it just kind of bends back down through Williston and Barnwell in the Barnwell County area. But very heavy rain over Jackson, New Ellington out at the site, going all the way into Vogel, Sardis.
We do have about 20 people without power in Aiken County around New Ellington, checking power outage map on the South Carolina side. So closer to SRS, and yeah, they kind of had that brunt of storms that just passed through, so caused a few power outages there.
Got a bunch of questions. Sardis, Rennes, Grovetown.
Sardis and Rennes, I just hit on. Rennes, yes, absolutely, it's raining hard. And it's probably about to be very windy because we can kind of see a little bit of a Boeing section.
Yeah, so the main front is kind of back here, and it's really, this is our main event. So this strong line of thunderstorms that is pushing through Jefferson, McDuffie, Columbia, all the way into Edgefield and Saluda County. This is what's moving east towards the Augusta metros. It also obviously includes North Augusta, all the way through about exit 25 there in Aiken County on I-20. So the leading edge of this line is where we could have some strong winds, but the thing is, since we've had all this rain before this really has showed up, it's helped really stabilize our lower atmosphere, which makes it a lot tougher for some of this severe wind just above the surface to mix down to ground level. So that's been the positive trend we've been seeing. But hey, we'd love to hear if you live in any areas that have already seen this main line, kind of what the wind was like. If you say you live in Warrenton or Washington, Lincolnton, Gibson, even Sparta, Sandersville, the severe weather threat is now pushed east of you. So if it's safe to do so, hey, let us know kind of what it was like. Was the wind really intense? Did you have any damage to report near your home or place of business out there? To help us just kind of see what's happening on the ground, because on radar it looks impressive, but most of these radar beams, by the time they reach the Augusta metro and surrounding areas, they're already 1,000+ feet into the atmosphere and not necessarily representative of what's happening at ground level. So need some help with ground truth of kind of what people are seeing out there. But if you're anywhere around Augusta or Evans, North Augusta, all the way up towards Edgefield, as far south as towards Millhaven, Barnwell. Make sure you are staying inside, staying away from windows. You got some storms that are heading your direction that haven't pushed through just yet, but will be showing up pretty quickly. I wish we had our Grovetown camera. I miss that camera every single day.
More and more every day. I just started believing that it's never coming back.
Yeah. It actually got hit by lightning last summer.
Last year, right?
And it's just, it's been tough to get someone up there to replace that camera.
Malik has entered the comment section.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Helping out.
Good, good. Thank you, Malik. Yeah, just kind of a waiting game right now. I mean,
Someone said Thompson, intense. Wind got extremely intense. We got to our safe place. Didn't last long, and it's calmed down now.
good. And I think that's a testament that what should happen with most people that see this line. It'll be a brief time period with the leading edge of this line where the wind picks up, maybe 5-10 minutes, moves east of you, and then it calms down.
Yeah.
And then behind all this, it is going to be getting much colder this afternoon. It will still be pretty gusty throughout most of the day behind these storms. Could possibly see some gusts, maybe 35, 40 miles an hour. But this is the severe weather threat. So once this line pushes east of your direction, you're done with the severe weather chances for today. So
This is getting through a lot faster than projected, too.
it is moving quickly, and I think that's another thing that's helping since it is hitting a little bit earlier into the day. That's less time for us to kind of destabilize and heat up our atmosphere, and less ingredients to work with to produce this severe weather threat. But yeah, we just had that report from Thompson. So in Thompson right now, you just had those storms pass through, and they did say the wind was pretty intense for a short amount of time, but then moved east, and now it's really calmed down. And you can see that on radar where we get some lingering showers kind of behind this, but the severe weather threat now just kind of continues east towards Columbia and Richmond County. Harlem, I would imagine your winds are starting to pick up. Same thing in Grovetown. And the Augusta Metro is just going to be next within the next probably 10, 15 minutes.
Yes, like I said, it just started getting bad in Canterbury Farms, which I think is...
Canterbury Farms, up there right off 20 in.
Yep.
Up there in Columbia County. So right in there. Yep, you're getting hit pretty hard. For
We'll
sure.
see if our Harlem radar site is actually an X-band radar. The National Weather Service radar sites are S-band. So the difference is that X-band can't necessarily see through heavy precipitation as efficiently as an S-band radar. So with our Harlem radar site, it's really useful if storms are approaching it and there's not a lot of rain around the radar site. Now that there's a lot of rain around the radar site, it's tougher to get as clear of a picture. So looking at velocity view here from our Harlem radar site, not necessarily showing us a ton, but if we switch over to our Columbia County radar, we'll see if it shows, which it's also kind of, you switch over to Columbia, well now you're kind of in the radar gap to where that radar beam is already shooting several thousand feet to the air and not necessarily giving you a good representation of what's happening near the ground. But you can still see that shelf cloud likely. Yeah, so you can see the change in wind direction right there on the leading edge of these thunderstorms. And luckily, not really seeing any strong rotation along that line, but it is showing signs that there is shelf cloud and that gust front is going to be capable of producing some strong wind at times.
People asking if there's any tornado warnings out right now.
No tornado warnings right now. We do have severe thunderstorm warnings up and down the Savannah River corridor. That's highlighted in these orange polygons right here. So that does include Columbia, Richmond, Burke, Jenkins, Barnwell, Allendale, Aiken, Edgefield County. So this line of storms is basically oriented like this and going to continue pushing east through those areas. So in places like Thompson, you already saw the worst of the weather. Now it's pushing east of you. You'll still see some rain for the rest of today, and we'll see non-thunderstorm winds, maybe gusts up to 40 by this afternoon. But this is the severe weather threat, and we're just going to continue tracking it eastward across the region. So last to see the severe weather threat go away would be places like Bamberg and Allendale, Screven County.
But again, T-storm warning, severe thunderstorm warning, not tornado warning.
Yeah. Now with this one across the metro, they do have a tornado possible tag in it. So they're not ruling out that a tornado could happen, but right now it is just a severe thunderstorm warning for mainly the threat of strong straight line winds, which we're starting to see some reports from people in Thompson. We're saying the wind definitely got intense briefly. Canterbury Farms, someone was just saying that the wind has picked up a good bit. So just going to be the leading edge of that line. The wind really picks up, but after about 10, 15 minutes, the threat pushes east of you, and that should be about as long as it lasts. But yeah, Tim, I mean, we're just seeing so much rain kind of.
I think it's just killing the chances
I think
for rotating thunderstorms.
There's
which
just
is,
not
which
really
is
a
great.
good way for these storms to ingest good ingredients from the surface to produce a huge tornado threat. So that is the good news we're seeing on radar right now.
Mm-hmm. I think if that line probably didn't form and we just had those little tiny cells like we had during the morning show, it might be a different story, but it really just kind of intensified and rained out some of the really nasty ingredients. But still raining hard. Columbia, Edgefield, also Richmond County, Burt County. So we still have ways to go to get rid of the really intense line right there. It seems to be kind of, say that goes right into the Harlem area, doesn't it? 221 doesn't want to.
There you go.
Yep. It's a little finicky, but that's where we've probably got some of the really strong winds between Grovetown, Harlem, 221, 278, I-20.
Got Fort Gordon all right here.
Fort Gordon, sure. Yep, that's definitely where the...
Definitely a lot of lightning popping too, so I mean...
Was told that was the case
Yeah.
out there at the Sheriff's Department. They were getting a lot of lightning.
So lightning picking up, a sign that the storm could definitely be intensifying, and then getting closer and closer towards us here around Augusta. And that,
I tell you, I
I
can't
know.
figure it out.
it's frustrating.
That is not the velocity, that is the reflectivity, but our banner is
Our banner's getting frozen.
quitting on us a little bit.
Active warnings right here highlighted in orange. Yellow is the tornado watch. So the tornado watch is really in effect everywhere. This was put out a couple hours ago, letting people know that conditions would be favorable for tornadoes to form. We haven't seen any tornado warnings just yet, just severe thunderstorms warnings, but I don't want to say just severe thunderstorm warnings. This is capable of producing some pretty powerful wind that can lead to damage. So I want to make sure you are treating those seriously and make sure you're staying safe out there. We can go back to our high-res radar, and this is a look at it. So there's the gust front. You can see it pretty clearly on the high-res radar right now. So now starting to reach places like Grovetown, Evans, stretching all the way into Edgefield. I'd imagine if we have anyone that's around downtown Edgefield, I'd love to know what that wind is doing up there, because the radar signature definitely shows some pretty strong wind at the moment. But on our normalized rotation, this top right box right here, everything is pretty elongated. We don't necessarily see a lot of tight rotation going on. So if we saw tight rotation, that would be a sign that tornadoes could be trying to form. But right now, everything's pretty elongated, and just where that gust front is where we're seeing that change in wind direction.
Last week, when we were looking at this same little quad box, the NROT signature had like a little circle in there of different colors, which was giving us the indication that there was rotation.
Really, really clear signature last Thursday, yeah.
And it was very obvious as well. So, we see any sun at the end of the day?
I think we could.
We may. This front's booking across. We might get a little late day cold sunshine and some wind for sure.
I think it's going to be a real shock to the system with the weather tomorrow.
It's going to hurt.
I mean,
This will be one of
wind
the
chills in the 20s tomorrow morning and highs only in the 50s tomorrow afternoon. So I
So-
mean, most of the day will be 30s and 40s.
St. Patrick's Day, the parade. Still
Yeah.
having the parade, right?
I would imagine.
Is
so,
that
yeah.
around? What do they normally do that? 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock. Oh man, that's going to be
Yeah,
one of the
lined
colder
up.
St. Patty's parades you might have been involved with.
Yep.
Talking about Edgefield, somebody said the wind is rough in Edgefield. Right?
Edgefield. Well,
Okay,
that
so
makes,
confirmation wind is definitely
That-
picking up along that gust front.
That's
Yeah.
it. You see that darker little line? That's that front with the real strong wind.
Yep.
Probably feeling it here.
So that would be heading towards exit 1, exit 5.
That hit
exit
Graniteville,
18.
probably. Yep.
I've been kind of bouncing around the cams. I haven't really seen a ton of. See, maybe first signs of the shelf kind of popping up outside of our studios. Not much wind out there, but there's the shelf cloud. So that's kind of the leading edge of the gust front to where winds will be kind of picking up just around that area. But there's our flags. I mean, it's dead calm right now.
Yep. A little bit eerie.
I'll kind of scan this camera around.
Good time to get the drone up before that wind
I don't know if
catches.
we can fly in this.
No. Give it a test its durability, wouldn't we? Can't make my normal Costco run right now, so won't see you down there, folks.
Oh yeah, we
Give it a while.
Yep.
Give it a bit.
Somebody said it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Isn't it? Yep. Well, the best news about it, if we're looking at silver linings, there's been no tornado warnings in our area. Nothing other than very windy and rainy conditions, and nothing that's showing signs of rotating thunderstorms other than, that shelf cloud just kind of moving through. So I think we're just having to be patient here for the next few hours and ride this out and just pray it continues to stay calmer than expected. So.
And I'm hoping it does stay that way. I think the setup is still there for maybe seeing some stronger thunderstorms, but we just this is moving through a little bit earlier. We've had a lot of rain ahead of the main line of thunderstorm activity, which has kind of stabilized our lower atmosphere a good bit. So it's tougher to see the severe weather stuff that we've been kind of really emphasizing the last couple of days. And I know there's going to be chatter on Facebook. They canceled school for this. All it was some heavy rain. Da 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 da. I can't believe y'all. Y'all say this just to hype people up. Da 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 da.
We
And
don't
it's
make
like,
those.
I will say, we haven't had much of that in here.
Good.
Tiny bit.
And that's hey,
Good.
that's human nature. You want to take shots. That's all right.
If we don't tell y'all there's the chance for that stuff, we're not doing our job.
No, we're
and
gonna
and
do
it wasn't just me and Tim making this stuff up. I mean, this was coming from all outlets that issue weather information. So
Yep.
we're happy. We cheer for people. We don't cheer for storms. This was what I was kind of saying yesterday. I hope this is completely wrong. I hope we do not see any severe weather, because obviously we want people to be safe and stay
Yep.
safe. It was looking very concerning yesterday, and still could definitely be concerning in many spots. Still haven't really seen the main line hit many of our eastern counties or southern counties, and the ingredients are all there, folks. It's just a matter if it materializes or not.
Somebody said the wind's starting to pick up in Augusta.
There we go. There we go, looking outside of our studio cam. Now the flag's flapping a little bit more. Right there. Shelf cloud getting closer and closer.
Somebody said at least the pollen's washing away.
That is very true.
Yeah. Pollen, you get a
I'd
little.
imagine the pollen count stays pretty low for the next couple of days. Rain washes it out. We see freezing temperatures. Once that happens, trees really stop releasing as much pollen. So allergy sufferers definitely liking this setup for sure.
Yep. Got the itchy eyes. Had the itchy eyes. Was out in the yard most of the weekend. Breathing it in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is good. This is good for us. I'm curious to just go walk out underneath.
I
the
know. I
awning.
kind of want to walk out too and see what it looks like.
And take turns if you want.
You want to go first?
I'll go.
All right.
All right. We'll be back.
You and Malik go check it out. We'll keep an eye on it.
You want me to open up the TV you have?
I guess you
All right,
could.
folks, they're taking the Facebook live stream outside to see what it looks
Taking
like
a real
outside of our
chance, though, because
passageway.
the
We're
mics
now
are still
finally
hot,
starting
so
to get
everybody
this
better,
line
watch
here
themselves.
around the Augusta area, and the leading edge of this thunderstorm activity is where we're going to have the potential for
Hey.
some really strong wind. We are
Taking a
underneath
gander
severe
outside here,
thunderstorm warning,
Jack.
so make sure you are staying safe and make sure you're staying away from any windows. Try not to be around any tall trees, anything like that. This is what the radar view looks like right now, and I'm going to try to clear this up a little bit. We'll turn off our radar sites in Macon and also Charleston, so this is giving us a more clear view of what's happening out there. So this is the leading edge of the thunderstorm activity where you're seeing those yellows, oranges, and reds, and wherever that heavy rain is found, that's where it's able to mix down some of those stronger winds to the surface. So make sure you are staying safe out there. We're really starting to notice this line picking up here across the Augusta metro, and we'll be capable of producing possibly up to 60 mile per hour winds. I'll switch over to our current winds that we're seeing across the area, and right now not showing anything too crazy. These are just some of the obs we have here across the region and across the metro, but remember, later this afternoon, behind all this stormy activity, we are going to see temperatures cool off a good bit, and it will be pretty gusty throughout the day. So here's a look at it. In-house model doing a pretty good job showing that line. It just continues pushing off towards the east over the next couple of hours, and then once we get past around 2 o'clock, the main activity is now starting to get away from us here locally. And then we got some chilly temps. Temps will likely already be in the 40s by around 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon. And rain will linger into later today, and that's when those gusts will be picking up, possibly up to 40 miles an hour. And then behind all this, we're going to see temperatures down close to freezing early tomorrow morning. The wind chill tomorrow morning will likely be down into the 20s. So this is going to be definitely a lot different than the warm weather we had over the weekend and even through a good portion of the month so far. So a heads up, we are not done with wintertime just yet. It is going to come back with a vengeance out there later today and throughout the middle of the week. Even Wednesday, we'll be back down to the 20s early in the morning. Afternoon highs will stay in the 50s through Wednesday. And then kind of by Thursday, Friday, our temperatures level back out and looking good by the time we get to this weekend with back above average temperatures. Here's a wide look at, we've been focusing on the Augusta Metro, but we also still have this severe thunderstorm warning in places like Allendale and northern Screven County. This is also in effect for areas around SRS, so Barnwell County right over SRS. They likely just had some pretty intense wind pass their direction, and that is pushing further into Barnwell County, Bamberg County too, and we'll continue moving off towards the east. So heads up, we still are tracking some strong thunderstorms out there, and it's going to be the leading edge of that thunderstorm activity that has that best chance for producing some strong wind at times. Here's a look at our velocity signature. So notice right here around the Augusta area, notice how it goes from that red to green. So that's where there's that transition along that gust front, and this is where you're going to see your strongest winds, is kind of on that edge. That's where strong winds are mixing down to the surface, and why the severe thunderstorm warning is put out for the leading edge of this thunderstorm activity, where wind could definitely be intense for maybe 10-15 minutes, pushes off east, and once these storms are east of you, your severe weather threat does look much lower for the rest of today. So for us here around the Augusta Metro, I would say by the time we get to around 11 a.m., we should be done with our severe weather threat for a good portion of the Augusta area. That's velocity view. We'll switch back over to our radar view. We'll do a quick just look at what warnings are in effect right now. So highlighted in these orange boxes, this does include downtown Edgefield, Aiken, Augusta, Evans, Grovetown.
We just wanted to see what it was like.
All the way over to SRS and Barnwell County, southern Aiken County. This is what it looks like right now on radar. And I'll go back out to some of our tower camps too.
In we go.
Just kind of a wide look at what's happening. So
Ma'am?
main cold front kind of back here.
Thank you.
And everything is trying to push off towards the east. Moving pretty quickly too, at about 40-45 miles an hour. How'd it look out there?
It's coming down. Pretty wet. It is coming down.
So definitely some intense rain for
Good
sure.
lightning out there.
Some good lightning now popping up with that Barnwell storm. I'm actually going to switch over to.
Hey, you want some of these?
We're starting to see a little
Gary,
bit better
hooking this
rotation
up.
now. That storm northern Allendale County into southern Barnwell County, that has started to tighten up a little bit, trying to at least. And that's where we're seeing kind of increase in lightning activity too. So did they just drop all those? Wow. Looks like they just dropped all those severe thunderstorm warnings. Yeah, they were going out until 10, so be a matter if they keep it around. But this is the area I've been looking at on our high resolution radar. So this is the exact area we were looking at Thursday that had a confirmed tornado
sure
between
was.
Millet and Allendale. You can see on our normalized rotation, not as long and elongated as what we were looking at ahead of that gust front. We've got a velocity signature showing some rotation there too. But this is from the Columbia radar. I'm going to switch over to the Charleston radar, see if it looks any different.
Well, it's raining hard outside. Everybody saw
Yep.
a few strikes, getting windy. It's 10 a.m.
Yeah, it looks
Santa is not coming to town.
somewhat less impressive from the Charleston site, which is a little bit closer. But no active warnings right now, Tim.
Every one of them dropped, huh?
You know?
Well, I guess if there's nothing, see something, say something. Come on and party tonight. Other than that, we still have the watch for the entire viewing area.
Someone's asking about front near Valdosta.
Valdosta.
All right, Weather Service saying final line approaching Augusta. Observations continue to show that strong winds are staying aloft, not mixing down. So severe threat for Augusta Metro should be done within the next hour, and just some light to moderate rain for the remainder of the morning. And then by this afternoon, when the actual front pushes through, we'll just have some gusty winds, but not expecting severe weather with that. So
Well, that's good. They've dropped some watches. SPC's dropped watches from Hancock, Warren, Tolliver, Wilkes County. Those were the four that were under the watch early this morning until 10 a.m., so those have dropped off. Everyone else still in play here in yellow with this tornado watch until 2 p.m., but verbiage that they're talking about, wouldn't be surprised if maybe in the next hour a few more of those start dropping off. They haven't yet. And then severe thunderstorm watch. Lincoln, McCormick, Edgefield, Saluda County is still there until, I think that's 11 o'clock. So we still have numerous counties under that we're definitely going to be watching.
Someone wants to know if it's safe to drive along Bobby Jones right now.
Is it, sa-
Richmond and Columbia counties.
is it safe? Let me pull the radar up here real quick and show you. It's raining pretty hard. You asked about Bobby Jones and I-20, that loop.
Columbia.
Excuse, what?
There's a Bobby Jones in Richmond and Columbia County.
Okay, well, this moving east, not quite yet. If you can stand it, let it go for another half hour, 45 minutes. Let that kind of move off, because it's raining pretty hard between the Bel Air area, North Augusta. Even from 520, when it starts into Aiken County, loops through it back into Georgia and 20. That's still kind of an area that's got some pretty heavy rain going right now. I'll put it in motion. But as Riley was just talking about, Weather Service confirming that those real strong winds are not mixing down at the surface, so which is why they've dropped a lot of the warnings. So that is excellent news. Very good news right there. But we still have some heavy rain to deal with. You can see a line that's still got some lightning, quite a bit of it in Barnwell and Bamberg County in the Millet area, or Millet. I apologize if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. Snelling, Barnwell, on up 278. Norway, South Carolina. Orangeburg is probably going to see some really heavy rain here shortly, but anywhere west of, I'd say from about Rennes on westward, you're just looking at some scattered showers. You're not looking at really the most intense part of the storm. Heavy rainfall rates, and it's probably a little breezy, but
We got one additional damage report from the CSRA, far reaches of the CSRA, but Johnson County actually did report a tree down. Let's see here. So in Johnson County near the city of Donovan, emergency manager relayed a report of a downed tree on Georgia Highway 15 north in the area of Donovan Road and Johnson Bridge Road. That was from 8:13 this morning.
so there's 15. Pretty heavy rain there still. Donovan, you said Donovan? Yep.
I think this is kind of best case scenario, Tim.
Very
honestly.
much.
I
Just
mean,
kind of saying that. This is
This
definitely
is-
what we like. We
this
like
is
seeing it.
what we hoped for and what a lot of people, a lot of y'all prayed for, and it seems to be happening. I mean, luckily, it looks like we really dodged the worst of this system for most of the CSRA. We still got to keep an eye on these moving into Allendale, Barnwell, Bamberg, Screven County, but for the most part, I mean, this was looking pretty treacherous, and I mean, from the way it's played out so far, I don't think we could have asked for a better outcome. So I am happy we did not have a lot of tornado warnings. I'm happy we did not have any tornadoes. I'm happy we didn't necessarily see a ton of damaging wind. I know a lot of people are going to wonder what happened. And I think what happened is this line maybe moved in a little bit sooner, so hitting a little bit early into the day when there's a little bit less instability. There was also a lot of rain ahead of the main front that led to it kind of just washing out our lower atmosphere and not being as energetic or unstable, because whenever we talk about the potential for severe weather, we really have to see how buoyant is our air from the surface up. Is air able to freely rise without much resistance in order to form really strong updrafts, mix down strong wind, produce tornadoes? Whenever we get a lot of rain ahead of those main ingredients, well, it just kind of prevents a lot of that energetic buoyant air from forming. It just becomes much denser and much less likely to rise easily. So that's likely what led to us not seeing a ton of severe weather, which we're very happy about.
Very much so. So who's making breakfast?
Already had my breakfast.
Oh. You get hungry. Yeah, it's calmed down a little bit outside the studios too, a little bit
Yeah,
more.
not much up there. Around the lake, pretty calm. Look at a Georgia power outage map again.
Someone's asking, is it safe to go back to a mobile home in New Ellington?
Ron said, let's go fishing.
Yeah, let's do it.
Is it safe to go back to your mobile home in New Ellington?
Yeah, if you're in New Ellington, I think the worst of that storm has now kind of passed you by. We'll go back to this. Yeah, the worst of that storm is now pushing into Barnwell County over SRS. So yeah, if you live in New Ellington, I think it's safe for you to be back in your mobile home. We'll definitely see some gusty winds, but what we are really emphasizing with mobile homes, trailers, that is if you're underneath a tornado warning, that's not a safe place to be. A lot of times with our severe thunderstorm warning, 60-mile-per-hour gusts, mobile homes and trailers can withstand that type wind, but it's tornadoes to where it's just not safe to be in. But now it looks like that tornado threat now moving east of New Ellington. We still have the main line that was severe for us here around the Augusta Metro that hasn't moved through just yet, but kind of the trends we're seeing is that it's going to be very, very tough in order to see a severe weather threat materialize with that kind of pushing forward.
So is it past Grovetown and Columbia County, Thompson?
Yeah, well, yeah. Grovetown, really, it's just going to be raining for a while. But as far as significant wind threats or any kind of what we were just talking about, that's very unlikely. So, yeah. You'd just be driving in the rain. So if you got to get out and go somewhere, it's okay now. For the areas west of Augusta, for sure, like McDuffie County, Columbia County. Breezy, yes, but not borderline severe.
It looks like they got a little tornado warning north of Charlotte right now.
Well, that is an area that's probably going to have a lot more to deal with than we do.
Someone said Burke County, I guess the same thing.
Yeah, no active warnings right now.
No, nobody's under any warnings. There's just still some watches. And heaviest of the rain is eastern Edgefield County through Augusta, downtown, just north of Hepzibah, but not severe.
Starting to get some wind and rain, not starting to, wind and rain in Wagner.
Oh, yeah.
I hate that this says velocity. I can't get it to show the other stuff, but here's kind of the quad box view. So Wagner right there. Still got leading edge of that line, still hasn't quite reached northeastern Aiken County just yet. There's the gust front. That was severe warned earlier, now is no longer. But that will continue marching through Aiken County. Maybe you pick up some brief strong wind gusts, but not expecting severe wind gusts with that. Wonder what our Beach Island camera looks like. Streaming error, no. Refresh. Hopefully the wind didn't knock down our Beach Island camera, because that is much higher into the sky.
Well, I'm not raising my hand to go fix it.
That's a very tall climb.
It's going to have to be a lot of Chick-fil-A involved with me to get up about halfway.
Someone was asking, they got some family in Farmville, North Carolina.
Who? Farmville, North Carolina.
I can Google it. Farmville, North Carolina. That is, kind of eastern North Carolina. Between Greenville and
Oh, that is
Wilson.
way over there on the coast.
Yeah.
Close.
So yes, Eastern North Carolina has a higher chance for severe weather than we do here locally, for sure. If you have family up there, definitely let them know they're underneath the severe weather threat. I'm sure if they've been following weather reports up there, they have heard that. But yeah, Eastern North Carolina. Saluda County has 525 people without power, looking at the outage map there. Edgefield, no customers reported out. McCormick, no customers out. Aiken County, 28 people without power. Barnwell County, one person. One single customer without power in Barnwell County.
Wow, that's unlucky, isn't it?
How's it to be that guy? One person, 0 in Bamberg, 0 Allendale. So Saluda County, hey, 3% of their county population without power right now. On the Georgia side, we'll go back, check on these. Looks like they've restored power to a good bit of these folks around Grovetown, Augusta. Significantly fewer customers without. Less than 5 is what it's showing around Grovetown right now. Midville in southern Burke County still has about 52 people without power there. Around Milledgeville, 21.
A lot more.
Macon has about 1,500 people without power. That's where we had those tornado warnings
Yep,
earlier.
sure did.
And I mean, Macon has seen the brunt of the severe weather
They
here
did.
locally over the last week or so, at least local to our region.
Yeah, there are certainly a lot more power outages around the Atlanta suburbs in Macon than what we're seeing here. I tell you what, Riley, that camera might have gotten on the beach.
Do what?
Asking, can we hear why Riley was in Facebook jail now?
Oh, yeah, so I didn't post anything bad, but I'm an administrator on our News 12 Facebook page, and there was an article that was shared several weeks ago on our news page that actually was shared by a number of gray stations, and Facebook didn't like the article that was shared, so it really locked out a lot of our gray TV stations across the southeast. I think it was a story from Savannah, from what I've heard, but if you're an administrator on any of those news pages, it locked you out from accessing or being able to really comment, share, post on any pages that you manage, which I don't really do much on the News 12 page. Every once in a while, we'll have to do like a Facebook Live on there, or I got to share something for the sports team. But I was still an administrator on it, so it kept me from being able to use my main Riley Hale WRDW page where I'm most frequently post on. And it was a 72-hour ban, so luckily it hit right after the severe weather threat passed through Thursday. I made one post saying like severe threat is done, and then I tried to post something again an hour later, and it was like, you're banned. And you got 72 hours before you can interact with any pages.
You're
And I was
testing the
like-
waters, aren't you?
So then I was running into the newsroom. I was like,
Thanks a
what's
lot.
going on? What happened? And they're like, yeah, our news page just got blocked. It was some article that was shared several weeks ago. But it hurt a lot of our pages across the company. I mean, there was a ton of stations that had this happen to. We had a lot of our corporate team that was administrators on these teams that couldn't access their Facebook pages. And if you've ever had this happen to you personally, you know how awful Meta is with trying to fix these type of events happening. So,
Thanks a lot, Mark Zuckerberg.
yep, we got
We're
zucked.
on Facebook Live right now. They're shutting
Well, I
down.
mean,
We got zucked.
it's, everybody
So-
knows. So
Yeah.
I don't think it was us.
I didn't post anything bad, but I did face the consequences of what happened.
Association.
Guilty by association, that's right. But luckily it came back just in time yesterday to kind of put the word out that, hey, we got some bad storms expected today. And those posts got some good interaction, and I'm sure a lot of those people are wondering, well, where's the bad weather you were talking about? Which, I mean, it's fair. But I mean, we did our job. We let people know
Yep.
that there was a chance, and that's all you can
are
do.
welcome.
This is an overall very grateful comment. So.
Yes, and my following is great. I love y'all. I appreciate it. I was just going through some of the emails that I was getting sent, so there are some people that are less appreciative, but hey, it comes with the territory. I mean,
Yeah, it does.
yeah.
Can't win them all with these.
And hey, we won today. We
we
won
did.
this.
Everybody's a winner.
everyone's a winner right now. As long as we keep these severe storms at bay, then we're going to be happy.
A lot of the stuff that's just generally turning into heavy rain now.
You can let's widen out this
Why don't
view and see kind of north. Man, Greensboro Triad.
Well, that's
There's
the areas that
tornado
did
warning.
not get rain before
Yeah.
the main line, so they're definitely going to, and that's probably why they're in that moderate risk, is because they're more than likely going to take the full brunt early with nothing else to calm them down.
Yep. All the way into southern Virginia, tornado warnings.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, this always happens. I swear, it like splits over the CSRA. Look south of us along 75. They got tornado warnings.
That's probably down, is that in
near
Cordell?
Albany, all the way down towards Valdosta.
I'll go down in there.
And then north of us up towards Charlotte, they got severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings. So we're really splitting the gap here and just really ended up on the lucky side of this.
Wow.
Chula, north of Tifton.
You ever spend some time there?
Tifton, I believe, is home to an UGA agricultural campus. Is that correct, Malik?
That's correct.
Yeah.
You also got ABAC.
ABAC, that's right.
That's where the significant severe is Tifton, Moultrie, I-75. Just south of Buc-ee's. Well south of Buc-ee's, I will say.
Was that the Buc-ee's that got the F rating?
Didn't a lot of them get F ratings?
A lot of them did, but I think one of them did include one of the Georgia ones. I don't know how many. You can't have too many
You're
Georgia
about to go to
ones,
jail again here. Trashing Buc-ee's. We're not going to come out of this ever.
Yeah, our Beach Island camera's not working.
It must have gotten hit with some pretty good wind.
Yep.
So, oh Lord.
You like that line, Tim?
What? Kind of sprayed the desk on accident there.
This will be cool. We can kind of go through this. Here, let's see.
Pardon me.
This is kind of like, this is what our weather team looks at to kind of see the state of the atmosphere and kind of what ingredients are available. So this is from the Storm Prediction Center. This is what they call their meso-analysis page. Main front back here, you can see we call these kinks in the isobars. That's where you kind of locate where those cold fronts are. So you see how it kind of forms that U shape right there. That kinking in the isobars is where there's that elongated low pressure, and that is where the front is. And you notice the shift in our wind direction. So behind the front, northwest wind, ahead of it, south. And then we can use this to actually look at different variables. So whenever we're talking about severe weather, we talk about how much moisture is there, how much wind shear is there, how much instability, how much lift. We got a lot of lift. This is a very strong cold front right now. So we got the lift, that's the check. Now we look at instability, there's not a ton of it. You can actually see we have a pretty good, what we call a cap. So a cap is basically preventing that air to rise freely throughout the atmosphere. And that's thanks to all the wet weather that we kind of saw before this main front did arrive. Now further south where we have the tornado warnings, you can see there is some instability, and that lift is strong enough to bust through that little cap that's highlighted in that blue shaded color. Up towards the central Carolinas, so through the Piedmont, southern Virginia, they don't have a cap right now. They just have instability. So they have a much easier likelihood to see surface-based severe weather. So for us here in the CSRA, you can see we're kind of splitting the gap right now to where we have a cap, and all the really good instability is north and south of us because we saw some pretty wet weather initially. But you look at how much wind shear we have. I mean, we have 45 knots of shear right now. So wind shear is a change of wind direction or speed as you go up into the atmosphere. We have plenty of those ingredients. Helicity is another ingredient we talk about when there's a threat for tornadoes. Helicity over 200 in some spots. So I mean, there are ingredients available. It's just that with the early rain, it really just kind of prevented us from seeing a lot of energetic air here locally. But looking at our tornado threat, Luckily, that's kind of been eliminated. This is the STP. So if you were following my post yesterday, we were talking about the significant tornado parameter, and high resolution guidance was showing pretty significant values on STP for our area yesterday for today. But now most of those ingredients across North Florida, South Georgia, and then once again into the Piedmont of the Carolinas. And for us here locally in the CSRA, there's just not much happening right now with that parameter. This box shows us kind of how we line up with past severe weather events. So if you ever took statistics in college, you heard about the box and whisker plots. So this is kind of projecting out data and within quartile ranges and standard deviation. So in the red box, that's usually where you see 25 to 75% of your events occur within those realms. The line here is where we're at currently. So as far as STP, pretty low on that threshold, but the supercell composite, we're at a pretty good threshold to see some strong storms. As far as Cape goes, we're kind of in that threshold, but we just have that cap kind of preventing this from rising too quickly. Shear on the lower end, helicity on the lower end, but still within that lower quartile range. And LCL, lifted condensation level, that's a fun one. That's where basically the cloud base starts. Relatively low. You only have to go about 520, what did that say?
Meters?
Meters, 533 meters to get to the base of the cloud. So that would be, that would be 533 bald eagles probably. If a bald eagle stands about a yard or a meter high. So just some fun stuff kind of going through what we look at here in the Weather Center.
Every morning.
Got to look at the mesoanalysis. We'll check on storms again, make sure nothing's getting too squirrely. Was Lauren asking about our first alert focus? Okay.
Well, that's done.
Need to drop some packages in there for that.
Yeah. We just kid around about stuff around here. You
Yep.
can still see that pretty good gust front line, though. It's still holding together. I mean,
there's still pockets.
Aiken, you're about to get pretty windy.
It's just, I wish we had our Beach Island camera. That'd be a great one to look at right now.
Somebody
for
could
that.
go up there and climb up 850 feet real quick and
Yeah.
plug in, or just kind of give it a little.
I would.
You want to go climb that high?
I was asking about the first alert.
Yes, you were.
I would, yes.
That would be our director asking about our streaming show in 5
Stream
minutes.
it.
Yes, okay.
We'll keep talking.
Yeah, we'll just stay on with them. And
Okay.
Do you have our right mics? I don't even know what mics I have on.
there's
I think I have both of them on actually.
They should have the right mics still.
Yeah.
It's not.
Oh, that's great then.
Oh, there we go.
A wind advisory is now out.
Oh, that's something we could do, Tim. We could talk about the freeze warnings and just kind of the gusty winds expected for the rest of today.
Yes, we can.
I'm going to grab some water real quick.
What, are you thirsty?
A little bit. I'd love some coffee.
Well, that new K-Cup machine does not allow you to brew your own grinds. It doesn't have the little cup that comes
Oh,
out
wow.
to where you can put your own.
Does the grounds end up in the coffee?
No, it's got a little filter pod in there. It's like a tiny, tiny little, you know what I'm talking about.
Fancy.
Well, the people out there do.
This show's gone off the rails.
I know.
Climber sounds like a good idea. Unless he wants to see if the drone is up.
Okay, let's put up some wind alerts here. That is not good. Well, I think he's in the kitchen. Let's be clear on that. I believe he's filling up the K-Cup pot. Okay, let's hope he is. Okay, I'm going to try to do this with a good grief, Riley. Well, he can't hear me, so I'll just bear with me. Lake wind advisory here until 2 a.m. in the morning. Lighter tan counties here. This is McCormick, Lincoln County, all the way up into the Midlands here. We've got a wind advisory in effect that's going to be a little bit more significant winds gusting probably 40 plus miles per hour behind that front. So with the cold front moving in, the winds are going to switch more to the northwest. This is also until 2 a.m. in the morning. So some of these darker shades, Wilkes County all the way down to Washington, Jefferson, Glasscock, and Warren County wind advisory. Lake wind advisory, obviously, between the metro here of Augusta to the Midlands of South Carolina, typically where we get lake wind advisories here. So that's what we're going to be involved with, some pretty strong winds. Let's look at what the current winds are doing right now. This is where it could get real dangerous. Oh boy.
I'm gonna let him know.
Yeah, it might. Yeah. My gosh. All right, here, anywho, we've got sustained winds at 10. So we don't really have any significantly high wind gusts. Eastern Aiken County, where you see these shades of blue, and some of the reporting sites may just be inactive right now because of the storms around. But when we start seeing those shades of blue and then you get into that yellowish green, we're talking probably wind gusts up to 20 to almost 30 miles per hour. You can see down in Charleston where that's kind of confirmed, gusts up to 29 miles per hour. The same for Atlanta. So the winds are already switching more. You can see where kind of those isobars are coming up here. The wind direction is from more to the southwest, but then that front is starting to move through, so the winds have shifted more to the northwest. So that's a cold. You take care of it, apparently?
Yeah, that's all good.
Yeah, sorry about that, folks. 30 mile per hour wind gusts right now, sustained at 15, so they're switching more northwest. Once we get this front through the rest of today, our winds are going to be switching more northwest, and then it's just going to be game on as far as how cold we're going to get. Let's go through the run and talk about that right now. So here's a kind of a look, currently about 10:30-ish at this point here, 11 o'clock. This is kind of already moved a little bit ahead of time. So once we start moving, I dare say 1 o'clock, a lot of that's going to be way off to the east. And we're looking at temperatures that are going to be dropping through the afternoon. So what temperatures we have in the mid-60s right now are making me nervous, Nick. We're in the mid-50s here by 3 and 4 o'clock, then 40s. So tail end of this low could still bring maybe a few light rain showers, but we're talking about getting colder before even before 5 o'clock. We're falling in the 40s by 6:30. Now we're sitting at about widespread 43 to 45 degrees. The winds are expected to stay pretty brisk overnight. We saw that till about 2 a.m. in the morning. We have the wind advisory and the lake wind advisory. So we're talking about wind chills down in the low 30s, maybe upper 20s into tomorrow morning with lows that are going to be, I need to back that up. It went ahead just a little bit too fast. So about 6:30 in the morning, probably where we're seeing our lows right around 30 degrees. So some of those plants that you've had outside to maybe get a drink of rain, you probably either want to cover them up or put them up, because we're talking about sub-freezing temps, not just for Tuesday. Could be looking at Wednesday and Thursday morning as well, getting down below freezing. But this is definitely one of the coldest St. Patrick's Day that I can remember. We're talking highs that are barely at 50 degrees. Mid-upper 40s, it's not going to feel like that. It's probably going to be a little bit breezy at times, so it might just feel like mid-40s all day. By the time we get into late Tuesday night, 9 o'clock, and then into Wednesday morning, there we are again. Taking a look here, some of our pause points back here. Let's get into about 6:30 where lows are going to be, we've got another morning of widespread freezing temps again. Winds won't be quite as strong, but we're mainly looking at that northeast wind here. And most of Wednesday, not really expected to be all that warm. My goodness, we're barely getting into the 50s. Now that may not adjust at this point here as far as the temperatures go, but Get your coffee made?
I did, and actually, do you know that new Keurig machine actually has the ability to make iced coffee?
I saw that.
I just tried it. It's really good.
Oh,
so, yeah,
so-
I was getting coffee.
You sure were.
Yep.
Leading a lot of us to believe something else. So, but thank goodness that was not the case.
Getting coffee. Tim, I just looked up our coolest St. Patrick's Day as far as lowest high temperature, 42 in 2005.
Hey, we're going to be real. This ought to be interesting then.
Yeah. I mean, I thought we were
That's a great thing to look at because it
Yeah.
just said it. I can't
Yeah.
remember. In 2005,
2005. It was only a
2005.
high of 42.
I was not here quite yet, but
That was just before you got here, though. Had to be.
October of that year.
Okay.
So
Yep.
was just finishing up elsewhere.
Heat hurt really bad. I was
Pardon?
2.5 years old.
Once
Malik
again,
was
Malik
born
is making
after
me
the
feel
year
like an old
2000,
man.
which is
Like
crazy.
well after.
Now we're just getting
Yeah.
way off here. Now we're just.
You can't. You 90 late
I'm
90s.
97, yeah, it's not-
97.
It's still 2000, 2003, 2002.
This is pretty impressive to see, though, Tim. That I mean, we're
Look
really
how-
splitting the gap.
We honestly are. Look how much. I mean,
All that south, and then all that north of us.
anywhere south of 16, still
I mean-
blowing up.
Screven, Allendale County, haven't really seen a ton of rain so far today. So if there was a concern for anything severe the rest of today, it would be those areas.
Still got a.
Still got some of these cells, kind of the leading edge of this front, that still haven't moved through just yet. But yeah, for I'd
East
say
of
the
Charlotte?
rest of us, if you've already seen some pretty heavy rain move over your location, I would say your severe weather chances looking very, very low for the rest of today. But all the way up through, man, and look at all these tornado warnings getting closer and closer to DC.
Sure is. Let's pull that down just a little bit.
Here we may have to switch over
You have to go
the
to a
sat
different radar.
red. Let's see if this one shows it. So up towards DC, look at that. The Nova.
Front Royal and Winchester. I've been there before. Yep. Oh, that's a really significant line.
Yeah.
Ever hear about the hurricane that may have spawned a tornado during the War of 1812 that went through D.C.?
No.
I think it was either right after the British burned down the White House or something like that, so they couldn't do any more damage afterwards. And there was apparently a tornado that came through. during
Wow.
that time period. From what I remember, I did like a small research on it in like 8th grade.
It's pretty incredible that tornado records actually can go back that far. I mean, even our worst tornado outbreak actually happened in like the 1870s, I believe, with the Enigma outbreak, which we're actually getting close to that. We're getting close to that anniversary. I think it happened March 20th.
Oh, we actually got a couple questions.
I could imagine
Do you?
the way like
Yeah.
moving houses today,
Oh, I know.
the way that they were moving houses back
That's
then.
no. Is
Yeah.
there any tornado risk trying to see if you have to go back to the mobile home in Lincolnton and Appling? And Lincolnton from Appling. Someone's asking, is the bulk of it already passed?
Yeah, so I mean, we're still underneath the tornado watch, but I would say for us here around Augusta, Columbia County, Clarks Hill Lake, anywhere west of that through places like Sparta, Crawfordville, Sandersville, we've already seen some a good bit of shower and thunderstorm activity that's really helped mix up our atmosphere a good bit, which should prevent a severe weather threat pushing forward for the rest of today. There is a concern with some of these cells now starting to reach Jenkins, Screven, Allendale County, even Bamberg County as well, that the severe threat still continues in those spots. But for the rest of the area, if you've already seen the line of thunderstorms pass through and it's moved east of your location, then we're not expecting necessarily a ton of severe weather for the rest of today. And the Weather Service was kind of emphasizing that too, that for the Augusta Metro, I mean, now that we've kind of seen that main line push through, I mean, we're not really going to be capable of producing severe weather the rest of the day. We'll still see rain, still will be a little bit gusty at times, but overall the severe threat of damaging straight line winds or tornadoes looks to be very low for most of the CSRA, unless you live anywhere from around Emmanuel, Jenkins, Screven, Allendale County, even Bamberg County. So kind of the southern and eastern fringes of our viewing area. But this is beneficial rain for a lot of the area. We definitely needed a good dousing of rain. We are still in an extreme to severe drought for 80% of the CSRA, so this is going to be beneficial rain to us, and it's definitely very useful for helping curb that drought. Not going to completely eliminate it, but it will be good in helping us out in that sense. I think Tim kind of went through this just a second ago, but this is just kind of showing the progression. So as we get towards midday, still seeing some pretty heavy rain, some gusty winds, but this would be non-severe thunderstorm activity. And then pushing later into the day, we'll see some lingering showers. Temps will drop into the 40s by around 5 p.m. And we could see some gusts maybe up to 40 miles an hour at times. And then it is going to just continue clearing out as we head into tonight. And then we're going to have to worry about those freezing temperatures early Tuesday morning. So we do have a freeze warning in effect early Tuesday, and we're likely going to see freezing temperatures again early Wednesday morning too. I'll show you the 7-day real quick. So the first alert Tuesday is just for those freezing temperatures early in the morning. Just want to make sure you're aware of that. Definitely going to feel a lot different across the area tomorrow and Wednesday. High temps will be well below average, only reaching the low to mid 50s tomorrow afternoon. So if you plan to head out to the St. Patrick's Day parade around downtown Augusta, make sure you are bundled up. The good news is, though, for the rest of the week, we do look fairly dry, and temperatures will start to level out as we close out the week by Thursday and Friday, getting those high temps back close to average. And then for the weekend, we're expecting to jump right back into the low 80s. And should be we'll hang on to some relatively chilly and cold mornings through Friday, though, in the 20s and 30s. Go back out to our high resolution radar, kind of scope out the area, see if there's anything too concerning. Sorry, I may get a little motion sickness with me. Moving the camera around a lot. Pretty broad rotation with this storm. Looks to be moving toward Toombs County by Dahlia. Trying to get close to southern Emmanuel. Keep an eye on that one, but right now it doesn't look too threatening.
You said the sun's coming out in Wagner.
Sun coming out in Wagner?
There.
Right near Eudora Farms.
Shout out Elliot Dredd.
I saw a picture actually recently. I didn't know they had kangaroos there. I feel like that's got to be new.
I haven't been out there in a few years. Yeah,
Yeah.
they got a bunch of different stuff.
But like the kangaroo was like, it was jacked.
Yeah, dude, there's some
Yeah.
big guys.
Yep.
Think you can fight a kangaroo?
No.
What if it's a baby kangaroo?
A Joey?
Yeah, a Joey.
A
What if
Joey.
it's a Joey. Like you tack on a Joey, mine.
No. I'm so soft. Is there a Harlem camera working? I don't think we have a Harlem.
We don't have a Harlem camera, unfortunately. We used to have a Grovetown camera right at exit 190, but it got hit by lightning last summer, and we haven't got it back since. Unfortunately, I missed that camera. We'll go back out to our, we'll kind of scope around our tower cams, though. Here's outside of our studios, just showing some wet conditions.
I was just conversing with a friend out in the Appling area, and he was telling me that there's been no real significant damages or anything like that, damage reports. Just
Good.
breezy and rainy,
Good, good.
so that's good.
Going over downtown Augusta, Augusta Canal. Kind of see those lower cloud bases out towards Aiken County. Wheeler Road. SRP, not much happening out there. And the lake cam.
I wonder if that fella's coming back from his jog yet.
I haven't seen him. I have not seen him.
Probably made it wherever.
Saluda County, still about 500 customers without power there. 9 in Aiken County, that number's gone down. And still that one customer in Barnwell County.
Just lick your finger and wet the socket. And
What?
just kind of.
Don't put your fingers in sockets.
See if it works.
We're teaching Ellie that right now.
All right, well,
Do not mess with electrical
Tim,
sockets.
yeah, Tim learned the hard way on those a couple times as a young fella.
Sometimes you can't come back from that lesson.
Yeah, what you did on this one, it just left its mark on the hand.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was not good. But
Eeh.
Tim was a learn the hard way kind of guy sometimes.
I need to hear more of that story, Tim. I need to hear more of that story.
Well, he had a full head of hair.
Boom, went bye-bye. No, but it was a paper clip involved, and that was all.
That'll do it.
That was all she wrote.
That
Hey,
is-
if I put that there, will that happen? Yes, it will. So,
Did the power go out? Did
No.
it, like flicker lights or anything?
Just-
I would imagine that would like shoot sparks and stuff.
it does. It just renders that socket non-useful. So,
Electrician was needed after the fact, I'm sure.
wow, this is informative here.
Really getting off track.
First alert focus, everyone.
I forgot we are on the Focus show. Lauren, are we still running breaks at all? We can run a break if we need to.
Yeah,
Yeah, I gotta pour a little coffee.
I think it might be good to run a 10-minute break. Yeah.
Tornado warning still continuing through central North Carolina. But
That's the hotbed right now in far southern Georgia. It's kind of, and then
So-
here we are.
we are right here where there's no active severe weather alerts, which we like to see.
Okay, that's good. Those areas.
The new mesosphere discussion doesn't really say anything new for at least the CSRA.
Yeah, I'm not seeing
Does it
any,
have us included in it?
I haven't really seen any damage reports come in either. And There are a few. Well, not sure what that is. I'm checking out emails from. Oh, that's an interesting picture of a. Oh, it must be from the mix. Okay, I was curious. Yep.
Got a video sent in from Thompson. Looks like shelf cloud.
Well, since we've seen a few counties drop from the tornado watch, still nothing has dropped since. It's just those few western counties. Everyone else still in play. At this point, severe thunderstorm watches, Saluda, Edgefield, McCormick, Lincoln. The rest are yellow boxes that include still all the metro. But active severe weather is off to the north and east.
Tim, I'm updating a viewer video we just got sent in.
Okay.
Hope this really helped out that McCormick County fire.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
As far as anywhere else that we can see of any active severe thunderstorm warnings, this is well south. This is down south of Ashburn into the Tifton area, 129 in Jacksonville, and these are all tagged with a tornado possible here, but this is well into South Georgia. That's well east of Albany. So this is the only area of severe storms that we see right now. Still kind of moving east to northeast, so definitely unstable more into South Georgia than it is here locally. Pretty heavy rain still around the Swainsboro area, coming in Emmanuel County. In that location, Highway 1 all the way down through Swainsboro, hit just about I-16 seems to be where some of that rain lightens up a little bit. But Summertown, east of Twin City, or west of Twin City in Swainsboro, seems to be just kind of focused there. Summertown, you'll probably get rained on hard, but not severe. Yep, good. You don't like to widen out at all.
All right, Tim, if you want to pull up the viewer photo graphic I just updated, we show a little video taken from Thompson. Should be
Right there?
Nope, that one. That's not it.
That isn't it.
It is it, but it hasn't
Oh.
populated in your system just yet.
It needs to populate in the system.
Yep. Come on, yellow arrow. Oh, it did it. Now it's showing it. Yeah. This was from Oscar and Thompson. Looks like you can see a little bit of a shelf cloud. He said there possibly could have been some rotation. We'll kind of watch it back and see what you think. Looks like it's in slow-mo right now. But Oscar Bomert, thank you for the report. We appreciate you sending in the video. Sent that in through our website. So, right there. That could have been part of that little Boeing segment we had near Thompson earlier this morning. But when we're looking at this, I don't see a funnel cloud. Doesn't look like a wall cloud. I'm not sure why it's glitching like this and just
Yeah, I don't know.
acting so slow.
Yeah,
but
it just could be the.
hey, it gives us the ability to play it a little bit longer there. But thank you, Oscar, for sending that in.
We got somebody back there up to some nonsense.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yep.
Like a light bear or something. I don't know. Well, great.
Yeah. Got about 8 minutes left on the focus group, so I'll say we probably let this go until 11:10, and then we'll probably cut off the live feed, guys, unless there's a need for us to cut back in. We'll probably let you go on the lives. I appreciate y'all following along and watching the coverage this morning. Thankfully, we haven't seen a ton of severe weather here around the CSRA, and we're hoping that trend does continue. Looks like for most of us, the severe weather threat should be fairly low the rest of today, but still going to have to keep an eye on some of these cells reaching our southern and eastern counties like Emmanuel, Jenkins, Screven, Allendale, Bamberg County. But from what latest trends we're seeing on radar, not necessarily a ton that's all too concerning.
Somebody asked about Dublin.
Dublin.
Yeah.
Dublin should be kind of in the clear like a lot of
Yeah,
other
it does
spots
look like
too.
it is.
Hardyville.
Are you watching this from
Hardyville,
Dublin?
South Carolina.
Spent a lot of time in Dublin, the Southern Pines Recreational Department.
I've actually spent some time in Hardyville for the same reason.
There's
not.
Dublin.
Maybe
For
Dublin.
a softball?
I was back when I was covering softball. It might have been Hartsville. Though.
Hardyville is right across the river from Savannah.
Nope, that's not where I was.
Yeah. Right off 95.
Yep, been by Hardyville. Actually stopped there to at a rest area or something. TMI. Well, what do we have? Canceled tornado watch. Let's see. Let's see who else has been lifted. Oh, a lot.
Wow, that's good. So eliminated our metro counties. It's interesting they have the severe thunderstorm watch still in effect, though, for pink shaded counties.
Yeah, then they still have a.
But that is allowed to expire at 11, so I'd imagine that goes away 5 minutes here. But you can see, as we were kind of saying, our southern counties, eastern counties still may not necessarily be completely in the clear just yet. So
Someone's asking, they say they work in Bamberg. Is it best to go home early or will we get stuck here? Versus leaving at normal 5:30.
oh, if you leave at 5:30, you should be okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
By
you're-
5:30, the rough weather's already well out of here.
But it is kind of an interesting little cancellation. It kind of dips in from Aiken, Barnwell, Burke, then goes all the way back west. While you're probably wondering, well, why are those counties in there? Maybe on the next update they take some of these out, maybe, but
Those are covered by Peachtree City.
right.
All of these that got eliminated are from Columbia's office. So it may just be the way they canceled them in the system. Columbia's popped up first. Peachtree's will kind of be eliminated next. But
So that's good.
this is kind of the area I'm looking at for the potential. Bamberg, Allendale, Screven, Jenkins, Emmanuel. If we see any severe storms, I think those would be the spots they kind of end up for the rest of today. Everyone else should be clear of the severe weather threat.
Yeah, someone just asked about Allendale.
Allendale County, I would still say keep a heads up. All these storms kind of streaming in from the south and west. Since you haven't seen a ton of rain so far in Allendale, the threat is higher than the rest of us. But yeah, all these little cells kind of forming ahead of the main front. That's where you have to watch it.
180.
We're close. We're close.
I think we still have 500 plus people watching on YouTube right
Yeah, that's great.
Wow.
Go back and look at some storm reports and see if there's anything new.
I was kind of looking at that. I mean, had the one in Johnson County, right near Lake Oconee. That may be Lake Sinclair, actually. Lake Sinclair.
Close to
Milledgeville.
Milledgeville, Wrightsville. North of Alberton. So a lot of these are wind reports from early this morning. All across the areas west of Atlanta, Rome, Chattanooga.
Man, I mean, all these up towards Charlotte, too, already seeing a number of reports
Mhm.
that direction.
So wind gusts and wind damage. It's been busy.
It's just so interesting to see, like, but then just this gap, like, all through our area.
It's like one of the top questions I get asked sometimes. It's like, why does it all split ahead?
It's the river,
Split it.
it's the mountains, it's Clark's Hill, it's...
It can be a number of things.
Yeah, each setup is a little bit different. Is it SRS? Is it Plant
It's
Vogel?
Plant Vogel and SRS. They're modifying. I'm just kidding. I'm not going there.
You mean we can't tell them about the machine you got out back?
Well, we'll keep that one on under wraps for a while, a little bit longer.
Oh, man. All right, 30 seconds here.
Counting down.
We're tailing off.
Yeah. I tell you what, if there is anything that comes back up, you certainly will be the first to know, everyone. So
Definitely so.
we will definitely be back if conditions warrant us to be back on with you. But right now, it's looking
Still
quiet.
have some rain out there. It's
gonna
going
rain.
to be gusty this afternoon. Non-thunderstorm gusts, maybe up to 40 miles an hour at times later today. So be mindful of that. And still some very beneficial rain popping up too.
Yeah,
so.
this is great rain for us. If we're talking about
This is-
knocking a drought out, this is helping
Yep, absolutely.
for sure.
So
Okay.
if need be, we will cut back in with any alerts that may happen. But right now, we are going to end the live and go back to Price is Right starting at 11 a.m.
Already up. You know what that means.
Yep.
Finito.
I got 9 mics on me here.
I had 6 straight notifications that Laura Warren was watching.
Oh, really?
She was.
Yeah, she joined a couple times.
She didn't say hi?
No.
Why?
Just hit done, and that's what popped up. All right. Good fun.
That's 2 out. That's 2 days in a row. I've not had to do First Alert Focus for a half hour.
this thing glitching out.
3 hours more, Dave.
Oh my gosh. Maybe that's. Yeah. Now we only have an hour and a half, and